Still a pretty healthy crowd in here. Head up this oval. We saw Michael Mansfield play his 200th last week. Thunder in the background. We had that scenario a year or so ago, didn't we, at Football Park, when it got dangerous.
Yes,
KB,
there was plenty of lightning, yes.
KB, is there a rule if there's electrical storm, what happens? Because there's absolutely...
Well, the umpire, yes, the umpire is always in charge, Dipper, and if he felt that players were in danger, he could take a break.
KB's on the rules committee, he'll look after it. Carlton and Adelaide underway at Optus Oval with Porter and Clark doing battle. McLeod's going to have a big role this afternoon. Free kick. The umpire's going to bring it back. He originally played advantage, but Ratton to take it. Bowler in the goal square for Carlton at the other end of the ground. Blues starting to move that way. This is Dean Rice. A lot of players bunching at half forward. Good lead. Good strong mark from Porter, who has shown the ability to push forward. Big job for Matthew Clark this afternoon. Long down looking for Favola. Whitnell late on the scene. Jarman starting in defence.
Free kick to Whitnell.
Had to be. Had to be.
Pulled off the ball.
I reckon Whitnell's in trouble too, boys. I reckon he's done his shoulder. He's not looking well.
Well, you get the feeling from what we've seen so far that the Crows are going to be full of aggression this afternoon. And maybe Whitnell is in the gun.
It was against Marcus Shooter on that occasion, KB, and Hutto there. Just seeing Darren Jum looks like he's playing as a half-back flanker. We saw him in that role, I think, against the Western Bulldogs in an Ansett Cup game. So
Best on ground.
Well. He was very good, wasn't he? Before he got injured as well.
Well, it is very noisy here at Optus Oval, not just from the crowd. The thunder, which we can hear echoing in the distance. The rain is not amazingly heavy at this stage. The wind has actually dropped a little bit, but Whitnell shouldn't have any problem steering this one through. Well, he went very close to kicking a point, and he has in fact kicked the point. He might still be seeing stars.
No, I don't think we can offer any excuses there for Lance Whitnell. His form this year hasn't been up to scratch. That would have been a terrific start for him, but it was just a shocking kick. So maybe it could be Adelaide's day. Thunder, lightning, wind at Optus Oval. Might be just the conditions they need to lift their rating. Houlihan gets the ball back. Ratton, quick kick, going to ground. Could be a little bit slippery as well. Has been running before the game. Hart's got it. Cross half back. Just shares the ball around. This is where Jarman might be so dangerous. But the kick was a poor one in the end. Goodwin actually lost his footing. So a good chance to Favola. You see him sliding into the fence.
There's a Crow player, Ken McGregor's coming off the ground, I reckon. He's limping at the moment. He's just picking up Whitnell now. We'll have a look at him.
We'll have a look at that too. McGregor coming off the ground, but Favola looked like an Australian fieldsman, sliding into the fence. We saw Ricky Ponting do that. Injuring himself badly. Lappin pushed off the ball. It's going to be pretty tough today, Doug, under these conditions.
I'll give you the bench. For the Blues, we've got Backwell, Mansfield, Manton and Houghton. And for Adelaide, we've got Shirt, as in the singer, and Big Lands, Johnson and O'Loughlin, Ricky O'Loughlin.
McGregor doing the ruck work this time with Whitnell. Houlihan shown his class and shows it straight away by kicking the goal.
They're our first line of defense, ready to protect us against any threat.
Initiating stealth mode.
But what if the enemy was one of them?
We got ourselves a broken arrow.
Broken what? That's what we call it when we lose a nuclear weapon.
The only thing more dangerous than what he knows
The clock is ticking.
is what he's prepared to do.
$250 million. I don't know what the big deal is. I really don't.
John Travolta, Christian Slater, Ford presents Broken Arrow, Sunday on 7.
And we could just see there the black armbands also being worn by Carlton for Mickey Crisp, 92 years of age, a former captain of Victoria, captain of Carlton, twice best and fairest winner, nearly 200 games, and he passed away at 92 years of age. He's in the Hall of Fame at Carlton. Porter with the ball. McKay will be tough in these conditions. Thumped away that time by Bradley. The veteran continues to do it well. Got good support from Freeborn across half back, and you can see Hume goes to ground. That was nearly a very clever mark. Coming through hard was Hart. He's given away the free kick.
McGregor off for the Crows and Sher on.
Sher is on, number 5 for the Adelaide Crows. This young man still making his way in the game. Freeborn, one of those unsung heroes for the Blues last week. Measured kick towards the half-forward line, the big fist away. You can see the rain tumbling down. It's going to be very difficult to mark the ball. And already we've seen a lot of players slipping and sliding. Maybe they got the rubbers on. Jarman headed the ball out towards Smart. It could be a dangerous kick. They're going to close very, very quickly. Bang! And Risciuto has lined up Houlihan. He ran straight past the ball. So already he's been very physical. There's been a lot of talk during the week that Risciuto hasn't been getting on well with Gary Ayres. That's been refuted by the Crows, so he's starting to flex the muscles today. No mark is a certainty today. Rice had that in his hands, couldn't take it. That's not unusual under these conditions. And we've got a boundary throw. Now look at Risciuto, straight past the ball and crunch.
Well, it looked like it was a Shepherd. I guess he could potentially have been in the contest. There's Ken McGregor, who we mentioned came off. He was going to have the job on Whitnell, so that is a blow structurally for the Crows and their performance this afternoon. I think Ratton's kicked that out on the full, hasn't he? Yes, he has. Well, I'd be very surprised, as I mentioned earlier, and don't forget, you can check our internet address, i7sport.com.au, for all the latest AFL news. Surprised if the Crows haven't been told just to go out there and make Carlton earn every kick and every chance you get them to just feel a bit of physicality, as Barras would say.
There's Vardy, already some pushing and shoving down there. Hickmott's there as well.
Well, I think, boys, the thing that lacked in their play last week, a bit of spirit, a bit of passion with the Adelaide Crows. And what we've seen so far, led by Mark Risciuto, has been hard at the ball. Another interesting thing here, we've got Anthony Koutafidis. He's playing at full back, picking up Matthew Robran.
So it's Dean Rice. Goes for Whitnell. Looks like it might be Stevens with the job on him now. Beaumont, who was so good last week, takes the mark. The Blues are 1-1-7. Camporelli not in the team, replaced by Backwell, out with an injury.
No one within 90 metres of Carlton's goal. There's Favola playing on the forward line. He's virtually in the back pocket. Loose ball inside 50, chance for the Crows. Plenty of muscle, bang, there's a free kick in the back. It will go to Adelaide. I think Scotty Welsh will take the free kick.
Risciuto again was involved in a hip and shoulder in that passage of play, so he really is throwing his weight around.
He kicked 47 goals last year's debut year for the Crows. He's there to be a goal kicker. And they have been using plenty of muscle. Not frightened to mix it with the Carlton side here today. And you can see Beaumont looked like he wanted to line someone up, and Hickmott giving away the free kick. Welsh. Not an easy kick. Greasy surface. He'll be shooting from right on 50. The breeze has started to drop a bit with the rain. Welsh, good distance, big kick, that's a great goal.
New Magna. Looks great, but I mean, what else has it got?
Well, it's got a big 3.5 litre V6.
Yeah, but besides having the big V6 and looking great, what else has it got?
Well, it has the V6, but with the economy of a 4.
All right, but besides the big V6 with the economy of a 4 and looking great, what else has it got?
It's the only Australian-built car exported to the United States.
Yeah? Okay, but besides being the only Australian-built car exported to the United States,
It is Mitsubishi.
So 1-1-7 Carlton, Adelaide 1 straight 6 as we look down towards the Carlton forward line. It's the three-man forward line at that end, although Darren Jarman has pushed back to provide the extra man for the Crows. And those flashes you can see are lightning. Umpire waiting. I think
we've had a bit of a blowout here, Hutto.
He's waiting for the light, but the light's blown as well.
Waiting for the lightning, I think.
Well, the umpire doesn't have to wait for the light. After 30 seconds, he's in full control of the game and should bounce the ball, which he's done.
Got the tap down. Houlihan over the top, McKay. I think we're going to see a lot of those this afternoon.
Well, why wouldn't the ground lights be put on? Would that be a fair...
Well, they don't really have ground lights here. They've got a few training lights just around the edges here, Doug. And I think that they might find that a bit off-putting, just to have a few lights here and a few lights there.
If you like training, you go and hide out in the
pocket.
In the pockets. Clark against Porter, who got the tap. Jarman, you see him coming off half back there. Edwards over the top. And the Crows getting it forward, and it's pretty open there at centre-half forward. Risciuto now playing on Beaumont. Welsh skidding through. Vardy was so damaging last week when he came on. Not a bad effort, just couldn't quite screw it back. So the score's level, and the Crows, after Carlton kicked the first goal, have made a pretty good start here.
They certainly have, Hutto, and we were just talking about their forward line before with Smart playing on a half-forward line with Risciuto. Peter Vardy's one of those important players too. He's the guy who can kick you 3 or 4 quick goals and a very handy half-forward flanker, which he is.
We should mention to our viewers that it's a lot brighter on the screen due to the television cameras than it is here at the ground. It's very, very dark. And of course, the cameras lift the lighting. Here's McKay from half-back. It's going to be very difficult to mark the ball. Tough for forwards, good for backmen.
No doubt.
You can hear that thunder. My understanding of the rules you asked before was from Dipper, is that if an umpire feels there's any danger out there with lightning and players could be struck or in danger, well, they can stop the game. The game stops for more than 30 minutes. If it's before half-time, it's a draw. And if it happens after half-time, the side that's in front takes the points. Here's a chance. Massey has that smothered off his boot. We'll see plenty of that today. Tyson Edwards at the bottom of that pack. Hickmott does well, rugby style, forces the ball forward. Great tackle that time. And the tackler, very good. And we see Stevens there, gets up with the ball. That came from Hickmott. So it's a ball up on the edge of the centre square. It's 7 points apiece. Even our time clock is not working up here, so we're having a lot of trouble with the storm. We had a light blowing. Lappin slides, kicked off the ground. It was clever play. And again, the Crows forced the ball forward. And look at that lightning just flashing across the ground. We've got a boundary throw in, hard up against the point post.
I just reckon the conditions we have here today too, boys, I just got a feeling this may be an 8 or 10 goal game. I don't reckon there'll be a real high score kicked in these conditions.
We might all be packing up going home soon.
Listen to that. That is frightening. That is spooky.
You're telling me, Doug.
Clark got the tap, Bickley, McKay, and the boundary line is certainly going to be the friend of the defenders this afternoon. I wonder if we're going to see any deliberate out of bounds as called this afternoon. That's the way to watch it.
They're happy.
Bring your own grandstand. So Clark has pushed forward here to battle with Porter. McKay, he'll take it over again. I think in that situation, maybe the forwards need to just back off a little bit and try and make it obvious that the defender's taking it over the line.
There's a lot of flooding.
No doubt about that, Hutto and KB. Not one player past the centre square here in forward line for Carlton, all down the ground. The ground is just stacked with players.
More claps of thunder. Free kick. Umpire must have got bored there, picked out a free kick, gave it to Porter.
Porter from that last line of defence. Good distance. Kicks wide. And there's a great mark for Vola. Now you can't pay advantage, so the ball has to come back to Brendan Favola. He's on the half-back flank.
And the whole wave of players all just moved down the ground to the next possession.
Yep.
Still hugging the boundary line. Another good grab. Taken by Whitnell. The kick is an absolute shocker. He's missed a sitter early in this game. Pulled off the ball. That was Sher. Chance. Houlihan feeds the ball out. McLeod. The run comes from Robran. Kicks the ball back towards the edge of the centre square. Welsh goes up with those long arms. Now Jarman is down.
He got a knee.
Not a good sign for the Crows. A test of strength. Vardy pulls his opponent off the ball and kicks a
goal. Insure your home and contents with the company you trust. Because life can be tough without your TV.
Hello? Yeah, look, I want to quit smoking.
Sure, well, you've taken the first step. That's great.
Planning ahead is really important.
And I can send you a quick book if you'd like.
Call Quitline on 131 848. 131 848.
Well, this is what happened to Darren Jarman.
Yeah, slid here, got accidental elbow.
Actually, you did catch him in that eye, didn't you?
Yep.
See him there squinting.
So he's off. He's off with the blood rule. There's another one coming off, McKay, I think.
Yep.
So a great start by the Crows. Vardy may have been a little lucky to get away with that last one, but you take your chances.
A little lucky.
A lot lucky.
He did drag him off, didn't he? I mean, it was a fair call, KB. I think you're pretty right there.
It's a definite free kick.
But you'd expect to start from Adelaide, wouldn't you? I mean, after last week, you know, you've got to show something.
Well, they have. And now McKay replaced by Mickey Mansfield. Played his 200th last week. And straight into the action on the wing. The tactics of both sides will be very interesting. At the moment, the Crows have got a lot of players around centre half forward. Anyway, the ball bounced. Porter didn't guide the ball exactly where he wanted it, but Hume coming through did well. Lappin, you would think, would be a pretty dangerous player for them this afternoon with the ball on the ground so much and the ball out of bounds. Been a very good player for them since he came across from the Saints, Matthew Lappin. Porter again feeding the ball out. Bradley couldn't take it with him. Kept it in.
Well done.
And unfortunately, there was nobody there but Scher. And it's, I guess, a little more dangerous today to switch play. On this occasion, it should be okay. Stenglein just bang it on the boot, ahead into the space, gaining ground, and Rashudo happy to see it over. Of course, Rashudo, there was concerns for his health last week. They thought he may have had something wrong with his heart. He was having trouble breathing, but tests didn't show anything during the week. Oh.
There was a suggestion he had cracked ribs, but I think we can throw that suggestion out the window the way that he's crunched a couple of players early in this first quarter. Sorry, Doug, did that scare you then, that clap of thunder?
It was fairly loud, that one.
Dougie was actually under the desk here in the commentary box. For those
I'm actually under the seat myself, between someone's legs here.
I'll leave that alone, Dipper. Edwards gets it down. Rashudo looking to get the ball moving. Crow's doing well. A little bit short, that kick from Rashudo. Bickley had no one to give it to. Took a long time. Was that a throw or a scoop? Doesn't matter now. Blues well.
Oh, that looked like a throw to me.
Yeah, he ducked his head by a month, but he's still got a high tackle, so he'll take the free.
I would suggest Bickley just scoop that ball up. Pretty hard to slap it on under those conditions. Ball to the half-forward line. Well, most of the Carlton players are up towards the centre of the ground and beyond. Coming out hard was Cooter. Picking up Matthew Robran. Kicking the ball off the ground, McLeod. Now you can see here's Whitnell. Across half-back. Does it well, just feign the handball. Sets it up short to Hume. And again, even that seemed to be a bit difficult to take. Kick in front to Ratton. Good take on the half volley. Well smothered off the boot. Coming through hard that time. Good strong play. That was Binky. Saw him kick 5 goals against Collingwood last year. Binky.
Good hands, any KB.
Good hands.
Good mark for his size.
And as the thunder roars, McKay getting ready to come back onto the ground. Jarman's back on for the Crows, so that's good news. McLeod beaten that time by Bradley. Done a couple of very handy things in his first term for Fowler.
Well done.
Hart just weaved his way out of trouble. Belts the ball back towards centre half forward. Silvani came out. That's a wild hand pass by Hickmott. It was a clever play also by Bickley. Tried to get his boot to the ball under these conditions. That's the name of the game. Silvani tumbles it forward. It's been taken by Ben Hart.
And you would think that we'll see a few chest marks too today, wouldn't you, in these conditions? Jarman recovered. Gets through. Okay, he's got a couple of options on the outer side. Stevens advancing down the ground. Still got space in front of him. Goes long, but it's all Carlton there. Stenglein did well to make a contest. Trying to barge his way through then. There's Welsh, but he's well wrapped up, and the rain increases in velocity.
At this stage of his career, I think Darren Jarman across half-back is a fantastic move, because without a player tagging him, hanging on to him, Doug, he's going to set up a lot of attacks across half-back.
No doubt, mate, KB. He's got the ball in front of him as well.
It was a great tap by Clark, but unfortunately the snap at goal.
KB, you probably think too that Whitnell's doing that for Carlton as well. That's why he's down there at the moment. So two very classy players playing opposite ground.
And I think just looking at the signals going out, Stevens, who's on Whitnell, has just acknowledged that he's going to stay with him even when he pushes back into defence.
Rice squeezed up on that point post. Kicks the ball to 50. Chance, that was Tyson Edwards. Anything dangerous inside 50. Nearly a juggling mark taken by Rashudo. Kicked off the ground by Beaumont. Quick hands required, and Hickmott did it well. Just wobble the ball forward. They'll need plenty of numbers. Goodwin around the corner, high ball. Silvani get back. Big pack. Binky nearly took the grab. That was Stenglein with a quick kick. It's tough in the clinches. Plenty of body on body. Tyson Edwards is there as well. Porter tries to knock the ball on. Taken by Ratton. It was a short handball. It didn't come off. And Koutafidis kicks it back over the line on the full.
You just think the ball will be like a piece of soap at the moment. That's slippery up there for him.
Laddams takes him on. Runs to 50. Big kick to the goal square. Backing back. That was smart off hands. Boundary throw in.
What are the rules today, KB? If you were a coach, what would you be telling the players in these conditions?
Oh, nothing fancy. Kick the ball as far as you can. Kick it off the ground. Knock it with your body. Just try and keep getting that ball as many times as you can inside 50 and just see if a few mistakes will take place.
Smart applied the tackle. He applied it correctly according to the umpire. That was pretty good work off the ground. Good hand, Stevens. Jarman using his skills to get through. He loads up the big Torm. Just a little bit offline, but a good mark. Was it a push? No push. Vardy's going to play on and try and kick the goal. He's done it. It's his second.
Well, the Crows are having a red-hot go at Carlton. They lead 19 points to 7. They've been very physical. It was set up by Rashudo in that first quarter, and early in this first quarter, there's Porter who was caught high. Should have been paid a free kick. And Darren Jarman is virtually loose across half-back because Carlton's pushed all of its players up the ground. Laddams, again, a quick kick to centre-half forward. Chance now for the Crows. That was Binky, pumped the ball forward. Kudafidis, he'll be happy to see this go over the line so they can set up and start all again.
Well, Kev, even the last player you want loose if you're opposition coach when you have Darren Jarman loose on the half-back flank. You just watch today, even in these conditions, being so wet, which it is, just watch how well he does use the ball by foot. He's a brilliant player.
12-4. We saw those figures inside 50 for the Crows. Under these conditions, sooner or later, you'll get a score. Wouldn't think this would be a high-scoring game. Carlton, quick hands. McKay bundled off the ball. Good play by Freeborn. Caught high was Rashudo, and he'll take the free kick. Now, he's upset a few Carlton players already, Mark Rashudo. He has set the scene here at Optus Oval. And this would be a pretty handy lead, Doug.
Oh, no doubt, KB, about that. And, I know we've touched on it a couple of times, and you said he has set this up. By the thing is, he's been hard at the ball. He runs straight at the football, and today we've seen him play on a half-forward flank so far today.
Well, this will stretch it to 3 goals. It's on a 45-degree angle. There's Gary Ayres in Melbourne. The suggestion is he's under a lot of pressure. Spoke to John Reid yesterday, the football manager for the Crows. He said it's absolute rubbish. It's a beat-up by the press, particularly the Melbourne press. Rashudo from 45 metres out. That's a captain's goal.
Well, that was an enormous goal. Speaking of enormous, that lightning that flashed across on the other side of the ground then was extraordinary.
We've actually lost our own vision up here in the box. Yeah, so everything's gone out here at Channel 7, but we'll continue on.
Hickmott getting the ball back. The Blues just trying to mount something. The Crows are ferocious at the moment. McKay, Ratton, Edwards was with him. Just trying to soccer it on Bradley. Smart. Gee, it's bodies on the line stuff this afternoon, isn't it? And the Crows are leading the way, 4-1 to 1-1. I think
Bradley may got hurt on that occasion, tried to kick the ball off the ground. There'll be a few tired boys after this contest, let me just say that. Gee whiz.
Well, the Blues are coming off a big game last week against the Bombers. There was always the chance that they may come down a peg or two, and the Crows are definitely having a real crack at them in this first term. Loose ball on the edge of the centre square. Tyson Edwards went in very hard. Hume also throwing his body over the ball. Chance for Bickley. It was kicked off the ground. The Crows continue to force the ball forward. Here's a chance taken by Binky inside 50. It's within 20 metres of goal. Here's Vardy, the goal kicker, around the corner. Off target, out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, just for a stat here, inside 50 so far in this first quarter. Adelaide Crows 13, Carlton only 4.
Well, I think it's indicative of the play. The Crows have been on top. Kudafidis pumps the ball back towards the half-back flank. The long arms go up of Porter, taken by Ratton. Always good in the clinches, heads straight for the line. We've got a boundary throw in on centre wing.
He's had 11 touches, KB. Brett Ratton. He's been pretty good up in that midfield. His opponent, the way I saw it, was Andrew McLeod, so he started very well about Brett Ratton.
So boundary throw in on centre wing. 25 plays 7. We've played just on 25 minutes in this opening term.
Porter, he won the tap. Ratton just interfered there, but managed to... The Crows still getting it forward. Rashudo again. Bickley. Freeborn going in for Carlton. McKay. Free kick paid going the Blues' way. McKay has been one of their best so far, coming up for his 5th possession. On the wing. It's being so competitive around the packs, but Lappin able to take it away this time from Shirley and get the ball up to half forward. Jarman. Quick kick Stevens, back up onto the wing. Clark presented himself. No high tackle. Carlton fans wanted it.
Yes, Backwell thought he had a free kick.
Through Rashudo's hands, Smart. Trying to force it forward, Fletcher towards the boundary line. McKay. Benke there, tackling and harassing, and it's over and out.
I did mention, sorry boys, I thought that Ratton was playing on Andrew McLeod. It's Darren Hume has the job on Andrew McLeod at this stage.
Full 125, great start by the Crows. 2 goals to Vardy, singles to Rashudo, and Welsh free kick from that ruck contest, going to Nigel Smart. And the only goal kicker so far, Houlihan for the Blues. Oh, that was...
Bit of a gangster slap, wasn't it?
Yep, Darren Hume. Now it is just a massive players, a conglomeration about 25 metres out from goal. Smart standing about 75. I think there's a blood rule.
Yeah, Hume, that is, boys. That's why he come off the ground. Mansfield is on the ground.
Well, the umpire there just having a chat to Chris Massey.
Look. That Backwell coming off, is it?
Oh, yeah,
no, that's Houlihan, isn't it? That's Houlihan.
Houlihan.
Is it Houlihan or
no, he's got long sleeves, hasn't he?
Okay, yes, it is Backwell. Yep. We should mention that he's come into the side, replacing Camporelli.
Well, Smart also takes them on and will land this one in the square. Porter and Silvani both up to spoil. And conceded a behind by Koutafidis. And Adelaide continue to advance on the scoreboard. 4-2 to 1-1.
Bradley to bring the ball back into play. 27 minutes gone in this first quarter. 26 plays 7, 4-2 to 1-1.
Got one player, boys, inside 50 for Carlton, all down the ground.
Game seems to be played on the Adelaide forward line. Porter. Any mark overhead today is good. There's the run of McKay. Thumps the ball back towards centre half forward. Getting back. Mansfield, fresh man on the ground. Keen to do well. Houlihan has already kicked the opening goal for the Blues. It's on 50. Forced forward by Lappin. Houlihan sets it up. McKay dragged to the ground. Loose ball. Good play. Taken away by Shirley and just thumps the ball back towards the edge of the centre square. The race is on. Goodwin, the best and fairest winner with clean hands. Really fumbles. Steckland got a touch of the fumbles. Did well. Good presence of mind. Booted it off the ground. Welsh was the tackler on Silvani. Rice tries to set it up short. Poor option. Clark couldn't take it. Hickmott keeps the ball alive. Porter back to Hickmott. Pulled off the ball. He may have hurt his knee there. Then crunches it and hits Jarman. Like that wasn't Jarman. That was Tyson Edwards.
Yeah.
So that should have been a free kick. That has been missed.
You can't do that, KB. That's definitely a free kick to Tyson Edwards on an occasion against.
There's a bit of feeling between these two sides. Let's have a look here. We see there it is. Hickmott just straight at Tyson Edwards. So there's a ball up at centre half forward.
See, there's a bit going on there, wasn't
and again, we'll take 2. Plenty of words.
Yeah, you're going to, sorry, Kev, you're going to get that in these conditions, Hutto. It's going to be really hard and close.
Look at Massey and Smart there, just grappling. Thump forward, good strong play. Taken by Goodwin, it came from Benke. Thumps the ball back towards the goal square. Koutafidis with strength there with Robberin. Once more, a boundary throw in just 10 metres around from the Crows' goal. And thunder and lightning here at Optus Oval. It's continued to rain since the start of this game. Conditions are tough.
And the Crows have done so much of the attacking and so much of the scoring. And again, they find themselves inside 50. McLeod, the unlikely ruckman there, and Ratton just kicked it straight out of bounds. As the clock counts down. Quarter's almost gone, 30 minutes so far. And Adelaide have done a great job to score 4 goals. Carlton, the overwhelming favourites coming into this game. Last week they, of course, upset Essendon. Maybe the Crows can do the same to the Blues this afternoon. Clark and Porter. Well done with the body from Clark. Opened it up well, shot the ground. Big chance, McLeod. Just missed anyway. Adelaide go to 4-3. And even the behinds, you would think, in what could be a pretty low-scoring game, can really help you this afternoon.
Just a couple more stats here, boys. End of a session here at the moment. In total with kicks and handballs, Carlton had 64 and Adelaide only 58. So Carlton had more of the football.
Finds Mansfield. That came from Bradley. Rice, the veteran, hands and knees. Been pinched by Edwards. Big chance for the Crows. Time clock ticking away. We're at the 30-minute mark of this first quarter. And that'll be 50. Well, I think we could class that as a bit of time wasting. Rice. Between fullback and centre-half back. He gets the run from McKay. Been very handy. Ratton's already had 12 possessions under these conditions. Scotty Welsh has got it 6 times for the Crows. We see the ball taken over the line by Binky.
I was going to say here, KB, when Hutto asked you about these conditions, you did mention the fact don't open finesse with your handball. Adelaide only had 7 handballs. Carlton had 26.
And most of those have been deep in defence, Doug. Yep. A lot of short handballs. Porter getting his hands onto it. Here's Ratton. Already had 12 possessions. Strong play by Goodwin in front. Vardy has kicked a couple. Good play by Laddams. Keeps it alive inside 50. Carlton under pressure. Hickmont just weaved his way out of trouble. Even McKay couldn't get away his handball. Forced over the line. Good strong play by Vardy. We've got a boundary throw-in. 30 metres around from the Crows' goal. McKay on screen. 2 marks and 6 possessions already for the All-Australian. Porter had Edwards the beat. And there's Rashudo with Ratton.
Well, this quarter's now gone almost 32 minutes. And Adelaide leading by 20. Wouldn't they dearly love to get one more here? Clark against Porter. He's been using his body pretty well. It's been a stalemate, if anything, in the ruck between Porter and Clark. Fletcher's high kick. The 2-12s, Shirley and Latman flying for it. Siren sounds, ends a terrific quarter for the Adelaide Crows. In these conditions, they would be delighted with 4-3-27. And 7 leading Carlton 1-1-7. Vardy has kicked 2 in the opening quarter.
The AFL, in association with its premier partner, Carlton and United, proudly presents the 2001 Premiership season.
Mark Rashudo certainly led the way in the first quarter when it came to getting physical against the Blues, putting the pressure there, particularly on Ryan Houlihan. And at the other end of the ground, crunch into Brendan Favola. Let's go down to Dipper. He's got Greg Williams for the Blues.
I certainly have fellow Brownlow medalist here, Greg. Well, what a day, but not a day to finesse, and obviously that's what Carlton did in that first quarter.
Oh, I did, but full marks for the Crows. They were sensational, and they've got away to a great start, just what they needed, but it's up to us to, like you said, get in there, get the footy forward, don't muck around with it, and try and get some goals.
Yeah, the Crows have come out very aggressive, and also the fact that Jarman in the back line there just setting up a bit of play.
Yeah, Houlihan kicked one early on him, but he's done well since, Jarman, and obviously he sets him up from back there, so we're going to be on him this quarter.
And the message there, mate, pretty simple.
Yeah, in hard, in and under, get it forward and try and score some goals. Let's go.
Thanks, nice to see you.
Wouldn't he be a good player on a day like today? Greg Williams. Loved it.
Jeez, did he what?
What about me?
And you too, Dibber.
Good night, champ.
Pretty hard to get a kick in the grandstand, Dibber.
Yeah.
Well done, Kevin. I just thought Kudo, I mean, he's been wasted a bit. He's down there playing at centre-half back on Matthew Robin. Kudo's only had the 2 touches. He's in the centre of the bounce now. There's Dibber running across there for the umbrella, Hutto.
Yeah, he's heading to the grandstand.
Absolutely. He was going to clean. I tell you what, he didn't used to stop when someone was in his way when he was on the wing in the old days.
Straight at you.
Adelaide 4-3-27, Carlton 1-1-7. We start the second quarter. Blues know they need to get moving. The conditions will be interesting to follow for the afternoon. No matter what happens, even if it stops raining, certainly it's going to be slippery underneath for all the players. But the ball, I guess, will be new for the first 4 or 5 minutes of this second quarter, so important to try and get a couple on the board.
Yeah, it looks like Nigel Smart maybe run with Anthony Koutafidis now who's on the ball. Simon Goodwin's doing a good job on Craig Bradley. Bradley 1 touch, Goodwin's had 6.
Well, again, Carlton have opened up with a 3-man forward line. The Crows have got 6 or 7 down there. Rashudo helping it on. Pretty open at this area, though. Silvani leading out. Take it away, Beaumont. Smart, who's been pretty good. He just probably hurried that a little bit more than he had to. But no mark is a certainty today. Massey went in. No free kick, and the umpire to bounce.
And Rashudo just knocked him off the ball.
Leading possession getters for Adelaide in that first quarter. Stenglein and Walsh both had 6 kicks, as did Goodwin, and no handballs. Jarman had 6 possessions, 5 kicks and 1 handball. Clark getting his hands onto that one. They're inside 50. Oh, that was dangerous from Hickmott, trying to go up the ground. Played for a free kick, but won't get one. That is a great mark in defence. And the man coming up with it is Dean Rice. Very solid. Under these conditions, those marks so valuable. Going very short though, McKay. You have to be right on your own today to get those little outlets from defence, that's for sure. Hickmott certainly was in that situation for Vola, pushing down the ground. Make sure it goes over the line and out of bounds. And I guess that's a pretty fair result. If you get the ball on a day like today in the goal square defence and you can get it to the wing and back to a neutral situation, that's probably not too bad.
I think Gary Ayres may have told his side today not to handball. They've had 7 handballs for the game so far. Brett Ratton had 6 for Carlton in that first quarter. 7 for the entire team. There's one there. Had to set it up. Long kick by Smart. He's over the line on the full. So they're trying to just force the ball forward with kicks. No doubt about that. Manton started the game on the bench. Hugs the boundary line. Koutafidis thumped away that time by Smart. Taken away by Goodwin. Half ricocheted off the boot. Tyson Edwards was there. Goodwin again. Hits the ball hard. That was a good tackle by Bradley. Lappin. Look away handball. McKay can't get past. Some great tackling by both sides. Lappin tumbles it forward. Trying to take the ball was Whitnell at ground level. Hard to do so. Look at the courage there. Sliding under the ball was Goodwin. Take a bow. Well, he was in 2 contests on the half-forward flank. Then he just rushed up here to the half-back flank. Really setting an example. Goes wide. Finds Stevens. Just slides past Whitnell. Kicks the ball back towards centre-half forward. The big fist. That came from Stenglein, set up by Welsh. Rashudo got it away to Smart, sets it up. Becky is a goal kicker. And again, off hands for a boundary throw-in. And a bit of a smile. They lead by 20 points under these conditions. I reckon that's equivalent to 6 goals.
No doubt about that, KB. And just watching Simon Goodwin, I just touched on that before. He's been terrific, got the job on Craig Bradley. He's had 7 or 8 touches himself, with Craig only having the 1. So he's done a terrific job on Bradley.
Well, Porter found front position then, but the Blues able to get it out. Knocked away by Shirley from Lappin. Welsh. Quick kick forward again by Shirley into the danger area. Freeborn applying the tackle. McKay, Ratton. Tackling from Barty was good. Lappin deep in defence. Shirley, good hip and shoulder. Smart. Oh, just picked it up. Kept his momentum going. Got through the legs, tunnel ball style. Extraordinary stuff. Smart, he's still going. Laddams across the body. Robran, can someone take a mark? Stenglein tried. Vardy wheeling around, had a shot, squeezed it out. Not a bad effort from Peter Vardy. That's his 3rd. Well, inspired football at the moment from the Adelaide Crows.
Well, in the new series of Cold Feet,
one of these couples will split. Can you guess who? One woman will give birth to twins. Can you guess who? One of them will find a new lover. You'll never guess who.
it can sometimes put a smile on your face. It can sometimes bring a tear to your eye. And it will always entertain.
Hello. I hope you haven't got skid marks on that sofa.
I'm sure that mark was there before.
The new series of Cold Feet, Tuesday 9:30 on 7.
Well, Carlton kicked the first 1-goal-1 of this game in the first 3 minutes. They haven't scored since. Adelaide have kicked 5 goals.
Koutafidis has been thrown inside that centre square. Mansfield goes to ground. McLeod did well. Kick half smothered again off the ball. There's a chance for Stenglein. Sets it up. And Tyson Edwards squeezes along the boundary line. Can't keep
Matthew
it in
Lappin's
play.
in trouble there, boys. I think the ball just, when it was kicked, hit him right in the throat. You can see him holding his throat there, number 12.
Crows by 26 points.
Ratton's in trouble as well. He's got an injured ankle.
Beaumont has the ball. He's on centre wing. Hickmott on a lead. It's been ignored. Kicks to a big pack of players. Long arms went off. Ratton, who was paid the mark, he played on. Inside 50. Not a kind bounce for Jarman. Good one for Houlihan. Now this ball's going to bounce towards the goal square. McLeod, he'll be happy to just to slide it over the line. Freeborn wants a free kick. They will get a boundary throw in.
Don't forget I7 Sport. One of the Channel 7 commentators always in the chat room on a Sunday night at 7:30 if you want to log on.
Chance for the Blues. Pulled off the ball was Whitnell. Taken out of the contest. Freeborn. Paddle the ball along in front. Danger here for the Crows. The Blues can just sniff a goal. Picked off the ground. That was good play by Edwards. Chance for Houlihan. He can trap it across the half-forward line. Mansfield's the target. It was a hard one to take. The Childred Gamer got his body over the top of the ball. Going in hard was Bickley. Ratton always cleans up to Houlihan. Pulled off the ball. Short kick to Lappin. He was trying to find McKay. Ratton under pressure. Belts the ball back over the line. And that's not out of bounds on the full. It's just landed in. It was very, very close. They've got a boundary throw in the Blues.
It was very, very close.
There's a huge break here, Hutto and KB, for the Adelaide Crows. Terrific start for them.
Well, it's just interesting to watch the players. Some seem to adapt to these conditions better than others, don't they, with their thinking, with their processes. I must say, though, the rain has stopped. The conditions have improved a bit. Still very slippery. The Blues dangerous. Lappin couldn't take it. McLeod. Clark won't probably get there in time. He interfered. He was there late. Oh, the umpire paid advantage.
He's going to bring
well
it back.
done. Yeah, very used to common sense on that occasion. Mansfield didn't know he had the advantage.
Well, he's paid the mark. That's why he hasn't... Well, it shouldn't have been a mark, and in fact...
Free kick.
No, I think he paid the free kick.
Yep.
Edwards, fell over, dropped it, would want to get rid of it quickly. Great smothering down there. The Blues really attacking Freeborn. Just a quick kick, though, from Hart. And they should get out of trouble. Jarman taking the mark, coming in for his 7th possession. Onto the wing. Benke, well tackled. Good work from Hickmott, Massey, Hume, standing start, trying to get a man at centre half forward. Whitnell couldn't take it. Crows away. Edwards, beautiful kick into the middle of the ground. Bickley using the handball. Now they're really deep into attack. It's an open forward line. March built down there by Rice. Robran, he was clear just for a moment and probably didn't know it. Welsh swung around, used the momentum to get boot to ball and just missed it. Slides through for behind.
We just get a feeling that Carlton over the last 2 or 3 minutes certainly have lifted their work rate without scoring a goal. When it happens to you, the side can go forward and kick a goal and punish you.
Well, it's a lot brighter, although there's still lightning over the city buildings. But at least we can see the buildings now. Couldn't see them at quarter time. The Blues trying to drag back this 27-point deficit. Jarman to the half-forward line. Bickley, he's got McKay to beat, just pushed him off the contest. Hume tries to keep the ball alive. Porter, hard up on the boundary line. May have copped one high. Taken by Vardy. This time it's been marked by Hickmott. He's at half-back. 5-4-34 the Crows. The Blues are 1-1-7. Hickmott belts the ball back towards centre wing. Pack of players. That man again, Jarman at the back of the pack. There's a good grab. Hickmott on the stretch to Massey. Well, they're just hugging that boundary line, Doug. Yeah. Thought that could have been a transfer of play from that contest, but Ratton, very strong overhead. He's been a big ball winner. He's had it 15 times to the half-forward line. Lappin couldn't take the mark. Hands and knees, Stevens gets it out to Tyson Edwards, who's quick. Very, very quick Tyson Edwards. Half-forward line, Bickley tried to take a one-hand up. It was a second effort back to Risciuto, a high ball. It's one for the Braves, stem line. Couldn't take it. Massey puts the tackle on Welsh. Have a look at it in close. Tough bodies over the ball. And Hickmott at the bottom of that pack. Welsh is there as well. And they'll ball it up 40 metres out from the Crows' goal.
I think you called it right, KB, at the moment. With the pressure the Adelaide Crows have put on Carlton, they seem to be going nice and wide. They're still to come there. Silvani looks like he's a big crook at the moment. Going to come down the corridor still, particularly when you're 27-odd points down.
Well, interesting with Silvani, was that just a bit of cramp and a stomach soreness, or was it something more? Hickmott put his body on the line that time. Caught one, no free kick. McKay cleared it towards the line, and Manton pursuing it. He'll take it out. Oh, gee, takes a risk by kicking it on that occasion. They're just holding sort of the upper groin area there, Silvani.
I just think he's taking a couple of deep breaths there, boys.
Yeah, a bit winded, Dipper.
You would too, Dougie.
Absolutely.
Porter and Clark playing ring-a-ring-a-rosy there to try and get front position. Clark won the battle. Ratton won the footy. Mansfield didn't have a right foot to get it onto. Hume backed up pretty well. Hart coming through with Goodwin, charging for the Crows. Just ran around at Goodwin, but he got the ball beautifully to Hart. And these conditions have noticeably improved. Oh, Welsh just couldn't hang on to it. And he couldn't get his handball exactly where he wanted. Rashudo, Benke, Ratton always on the bottom of the packs. Quick work from Hart, getting it to full forward. Barty's been so dangerous, but Manton chopping this one up takes the mark.
Last line of defence, Glenn Manton. Crows by 27 points. We've played just on 12 minutes of this second term. Manton stands and delivers wide. Pushed off the contest. Edwards sets it up. Stenglein, you can see a number of players just losing their footing. And Koutafidis cuts it off at centre-half back. Kouta started in the last line of defence. He was picking up Robrin in that first quarter. So 5 times in this second term. Over the line, boundary throw in.
No free kick there against Matthew Allen. I mean, that was fine. He punched the ball away. Once again, we see here Carlton going wide from their back line. They've got to start coming down the corridor. They've got to start taking a few risks, a few chances.
Between the wing and half-forward line for the Crows. Smart doing the ruck work. Hume kicked it off the ground, did well. Hard to really get any purchase on the ball whatsoever. Stevens. Again, we see the ball over the line for a toss back in.
Just reckon, boys, if I was Brendan Pavola, I'd be playing more or less deep inside 50. I wouldn't be bringing Ben Hart up the ground. He's been terrific, Ben Hart. He's had 7 touches now, and certainly on top of that contest.
Well, it's been a long time since Carlton actually scored. They kicked that first goal. Hurlhan kicked the goal. It was very early in that first quarter.
Yep.
Silvani coming off, boys.
3 minutes in there. Silvani coming off. He is favouring the leg, although he always runs like a little strangely, doesn't he, with the bow legs. Crows have pushed an extra man back in. Hart just to the left of where we'll see the contest in a minute. So they've got a fairly open forward line, 2-on-2 down there. Koutafidis. Hart, here he is, coming off half back. Has the time. Went for the handball towards the line. Well, they worked it pretty well then in the conditions. Laddens bombing it onto the wing. These two have been going at it all afternoon. Porter and Clark having a big wrestle. Whitnell's handball was terrific. Ratton. Well, in the conditions, that was a superb kick. Hume. Looks like he wants to unload. Well, missed kick. Bradley hasn't really been able to get into it this afternoon. One kick. McKay has been pretty good. 10th possession for McKay. Beaumont was flat-footed, late on the scene, making a good spoil with Sher. Now they're going forward. Mansfield just unloading. Bouncing kick. Jarman playing in front of Houlihan. Applied a good tackle. Freeborn also well tackled. Hart coming charging through. Hotting up at centre half forward for Carlton. A real battle for it. Clearing kick was all right. Stendos, in fact, it was terrific because Rashudo can carry it to half forward. Unfortunately, couldn't get the carry with his kick. It got through. Benke allowed Welsh in. The handball, McLeod was perhaps a little bit too clever with the kick. Numbers with Adelaide, but great defence from Manton. Stood tall off the ground. Hickmott on the rebound. Suddenly there is some rebound footy as the conditions improving. Edwards and Ratton. Ratton getting to the front. Did well. Got the handball clear. Now Hickmott again, who followed up his earlier work. Smothered and the ball out of bounds. And the battle at the moment is being won by the Adelaide Crows. We're more than midway through the second quarter and they are holding on to this lead.
Just trying to work out here, Hutto and KB. It looks like now that Brendan Pavola is playing deep in the back line, picked up Scott Welsh. I'm just trying to work out who Ben Hart's playing on. I think Ben Hart might be on Trent Houghton at this stage.
And Whitnell is off the ground as well, so Silvani and Whitnell off. Colbert comes on for the Blues. Lance Whitnell
He looks all right, doesn't he? I don't think
5
it's an injury
possessions.
problem.
He's had 5 possessions, 4 kicks and a handball.
He's made the contest, hasn't he? But there we are. Hart is on Trent Houghton. Bavola now down the back line.
So Porter and Clark, they'll lock horns. They'll come together. Porter does well. Got his hands on the ball. And Laddams takes the ball over for a boundary throw. And that man on screen, Brett Ratton, has had it 20 times. 20 times so far, and we've still got 8.5 minutes left in this second quarter. Gary Ayres on the blower. He'd be very happy with what he's seen so far today. He's been under a lot of pressure, so's his side. We noticed before the game that Cornsey said that they've played Sydney, Melbourne and Port Adelaide, 3 very good sides. They've really stepped up a notch today. Smart. And maybe it'll be a couple of their old timers. That's out in the pool.
Yep, it was. Touched the umpire.
Okay.
Extraordinary.
So it looked like it was out on the full, but the umpire's working together. Now let's have a look at this. There's the kick.
Bounce. No doubt.
So well done by the umpires. We're looking at from a back view here from the Channel 7 broadcasting position. The umpires have done it well. Colbert, fresh man on the ground. Dangerous kick. Koutafidis gets back. Couldn't take it. Taken to the field. Was taken down by Smart. They'll come away Jarman. So the 2 old heads combine. Huge roar goes around the ground. Crow supporters in full voice here at Optus Oval. They're sensing an upset. Beaumont goes short. Finds Houlihan. He gets the go on. Colbert says kick it long. He looks for Cooter. He needs a clean bounce. Cooter can't pick the ball up. Hickmott. Good shepherding. Cooter kick wobbles into the goal square. And guess who? It was touched off the boot. It was touched off the boot, I think, Doug. Taken by Jarman. He was caught in 2 minds. Hawk kicks a goal!
Heard the latest? Word is that with McDonald's Hot Goss Cool Wrap deal, every time you purchase a chicken salad McWrap, you get this week's New Idea magazine. McDonald's Fresh Chicken Salad McWrap, now with this week's New Idea magazine, so you can catch up on the freshest gossip around. Hurry! The Hot Goss Cool Wrap deal is on for a limited time only.
So the Blues get their first goal, their first score since 3 minutes into the first quarter. And it comes from Trent Houghton. A mistake, an unfortunate set of circumstances for the Crows, but Jarman being taken off. Oh, he's got blood. 5-4 to 2-1. Porter. Ratton has had 20 possessions, would you believe? These conditions certainly made for him. Free ball. The Blues suddenly with a bit of spring in the step. Stenglein at centre half back. Hickmott over the top. Lappin is lurking. So is Houlihan. Bobby's on the line again. Lappin. You get the feeling that Houlihan is going to be a favourite here at Optus Oval in years to come.
No doubt about that, Hutto. I'm just watching now. Anthony Koutafidis has gone the full forward, followed by Nigel Smart. I don't mind that move. One-on-one, a lot of room. Koutafidis versus Smart.
Well, Smart got stitched up by Wanganeen early in last week's showdown before moving forward and showing a bit. He had an article written about him during the week in Adelaide, and the Adelaide Advertiser suggesting that it's just about time for him to give the game away.
You see there Silvani back with Peter Schockman, the fitness advisor for the Blues. Whitnell, we can see also still sitting on the interchange bench.
Houlihan again involved. Here's the 2 we were talking about. Smart and Koutafidis. Smart, well, he didn't quite win the battle then. He got the ball forward, but not out of the danger area. Colbert well tackled by Hart. Here's Koutafidis, stayed in the contest. That time he's run down with numbers. Free kick. Laddams certainly made sure the umpire saw it, but he did it well. Crowd don't agree. Chris Laddams moving it on after taking that free kick. He certainly was held without it for a moment. Crows have got it to the wing. This is Ben Hart, who's been good. 8 possessions, taken 3 marks. Sure. Probing kick, well inside 50. Good spoil from Benke to bring it to ground. Welsh off the ground. It's still in a dangerous area. McKay didn't try and pick it up. It actually went backwards though. Rice, well done by Rodman to provide a contest. Charging through Manton. Vardy right there with him all the way. Support from McKay was good. The Blues suddenly got it on the wing with a dangerous Ratton. Found a man, but Manton fumbled it. It's over the line. Vardy held on, which was pretty silly because the ball was already out of bounds. And he'll be probably annoyed with himself. Manton demanding it. Let's have a look. Unnecessary.
Pretty stupid play.
Vardy.
Yep.
Manton unloading it to half forward. Smart playing in front of Koutafidis. Edwards, and it's out of bounds.
Silvani about to come back on for the Blues.
Just talking there, Hutto, about Tyson Edwards now. He's got the job on Brett Ratton. Edwards has had 11 touches, been pretty good.
We just saw
Ratton's had 21, Dougie.
We just saw Craig Bradley. He's had one.
Yeah.
One kick for Craig Bradley. His partner in crime, Brett Ratton, has had it 21 times. So whether Bradley is fit, he was out of the side last week against the Bombers. Colbert kicks the ball off the ground. The race is on. They're going to come from all points of the compass. Good body work. Ben Hart did well. McLeod, it was a hurried kick. Puts it over the line.
The amount of space McLeod just took up there, he just brought him in, didn't he? This is quick.
Ben Hart took out 2 players then on the way just to give that room for McLeod.
Well, this is about as physical I've seen the Crows for a long time, Doug.
No doubt about that, KB.
And you've got to be physical under these conditions. It's not a place for faint hearts. Rhett Biglan's been sitting on the bench. He's now on the field, and it's been marked by Laddams. Pick up from the Bombers. That lead there is on from Binky. Also, Welsh says, kick it to me. So Welsh will have to go hard, knocked out of the contest. Massey, can he clean up? Kicked off the ground by Johnson. Keeps it alive across the half-forward line. Beaumont squeezed up around the corner. Great defensive punch came from Bickley, because Ratton is the danger man. Held off the ball also as Bickley. Trying to crash his way through was Mansfield. He's been poleaxed into the ground by Goodwin. And we've got a ball up good 60 metres out from the Crows' goal. There's Silvani. Still doesn't look 100%.
Pretty important last 5 or so minutes here, isn't it, in the quarter? There's only been 1 goal kicked each for the term.
So it's all tied up. There's Silvani. Now, whether he's hurt his arm since he's come back onto the ground, but he certainly looks sore. Ball up. Ratton keeps that body in line with the ball. Hickmott caught by Goodwin. Bradley, just his second touch for the afternoon. Now the whistle is gone.
Free kick to Porter against Biglan's.
I just reckon, KB, if you are a coach with Craig Bradley struggling a bit, not only pulling forward, maybe playing deep in the forward line next to Cooter, and put Simon Goodwin back there out of his normal position.
Porter is looking for Houghton. That big fist came from Stevens. Now Houghton's got the free kick. The signal from the umpire was that he was held. Now Crows players rushing back to get into the defensive 50. Houghton from the centre wing to the half-forward line. Fletcher's a target. Knocked out of his hands by Kane Johnson. So a boundary throw in. 34 plays 13. They lead by 21 points, and they led by 20 points at quarter time, the Crows.
Johnson spent quite a deal of time on the interchange bench, coming back into the side this afternoon. Bickley had spilled out. That man Ratton, another possession. Freeborn just helping it on. Hickmott the same. Silvani's gone forward. Lappin found a path. Important kick for the Blues, and you wouldn't want it in anybody else's arms.
Besides being the only Australian-built car exported to the United States, having a big V6 with the economy of a 4 and looking great, what else has Magna got?
Well, you can get factory-backed LPG conversion.
Yeah, but besides factory-backed LPG conversion, being the only Australian-built car exported to the United States, having the big V6 with the economy of a 4 and looking great, what else has Magna got?
It's got the best towing in its class.
Aside from towing, LPG conversion being the only Australian-built car...
Here's Mitsubishi.
3 minutes left in this second quarter. It's been a very tough first half, and the Blues are starting to drag this game back. They trail by 15 points. Houlihan. Lappin, dangerous player. Couldn't quite get the bounce he wanted. He's got Shirley to beat. Now the whistle is gone. The free kick is going to the Crows. Lappin, a shake of the head. Had him by the jumper.
Not much.
Well, you don't have to have much these days, Doug. That's the rules. And that was a good umpiring decision. Give him a rap when it's due. Chance for Houlihan. Off the hands. Ratton, the danger man. This could bounce towards the goal square. This is a dangerous kick. Lappin will try and get there in time. Kicks the ball alive. Now it just rolls over the line for a toss back in. 19 plays 34.
Absolutely vital last 2 minutes for both teams here. The Blues have kicked 2 goals to 1 in the quarter. 5-4 to 3-1. Stevens got his man Houghton down to ground.
I just get a feeling with Darren Jarman off the ground. He played in the back line. Just lost that bit of steadiness down their back line.
Well, I wonder whether he's okay to come back on. Don't forget he's been out for a long time, so maybe he's just getting a rest, and we might see him again at the start of the second half. Colpert, and the Crows happy to see it over and out. Jarman had 8 kicks and 1 handball. Tyson Edwards has had 11 possessions, as has Welsh and Stengline. 8 for McLeod, 5 for Benke, 9 for Hart, 10 for Laddams and 10 for Goodwin. The most possessions for the Crows. We know that Ratton's had 23 for the Blues. McKay has had 12. It's in their danger area. Bradley hasn't seen much of it. Colpert went to ground. And another bounce. Lappin's had 9 possessions, same with Freeborn and Beaumont. Houlihan's had 11, including 1 goal. And Lappin also kicking a goal this afternoon, along with Trent Houghton. Speaking of Houghton, trying to get it out. Ricky O'Loughlin on the ground for the Crows. So just over a minute remaining in the first half. The conditions have improved markedly. Houghton again against Stevens. Bickley, Smart. And another bounce called. Would you think in this situation late in the quarter that you'd put Biglands down there to do the ruck work? The number 1 ruckman would go down into defence?
Well, they've got Porter sitting off the ball. I suppose they're a little bit concerned because they're not going to kick the ball very far out of defence, are they, Doug? It might just land on his chest.
Well, here's coup de feet. He's squeezing it under the boot and getting a goal before half-time.
It's Greg's birthday.
Don't you have any cute baby pictures of Greg where he has like a bowl of spaghetti on his head or naked in the bathtub?
Why would I have that?
I mean, I got some doozies of Greg in the shower, but I don't think he wants me blowing him up for the party.
Dharma and Greg, Sunday, then at 8. On those moonlit nights, you hear a noise in the dark. Who do you turn to?
Did I just scream like a woman?
Don't flatter yourself. You scream like a girl.
Will and Grace, Sunday at 8 on 7.
Well, the Blues in the last 5 minutes have hit back hard. The Crows now lead by just 9 points. They did lead by 27 points during this second quarter. Time clock ticking away. Just 30 seconds left. Kane Johnson, one of the youngest players ever to play in 2 premiership sides, pumps the ball inside 50. A chance. Risciuto, 45 metres out. Kicks a goal. What a goal for the Crows. Risciuto has got 2. He kicked a great captain's goal in that first term. And Risciuto, with just seconds left in this second term, has hit back.
Well, KB, you just read the ball perfectly. You remind me of the days, Kev, when you played on the half-forward flank, you always got yourself in the right position. Mike Risciuto did then. I think you said Kane Johnson was one to kick that ball forward. He's only had the 2 kicks, hasn't been on the ground that long anyway, but a very important goal from this captain.
Yes, 2 magnificent goals this afternoon under pressure from Risciuto, and that will give the Crows a lot of momentum, will regain the momentum for them, you would think, going into half-time. Hanging on there. Well, only seconds remaining. The Crows will need to get it moving from here. Again, it's Johnson to unload. Can they pull down a mark? Massey trying to get it. Oh, Goodwin came through, and wouldn't you know it, his snap missed anyway. What a half of footy. Umpires getting the hoots from the crowd. But the Adelaide Crows, with a goal just on half-time, maybe just taking the momentum back after Carlton really hit back towards the mid and latter stages of the quarter. A lot of work to do ahead for the Blues, but conditions are improving at Optus Oval. Adelaide leading by 15 points at half-time.
knee injury there. He's running okay, whatever. I don't think they're taking any chances with him, but if he's starting on the bench here at 3/4 time, I'll find out a little bit more. I'll let you know. Obviously, the conditions have certainly calmed down from what we've had in that first half, but it was a real good response by Carlton, but also in the last 2 or 3 minutes, the Crows, could have folded, but they got that last goal through Rashuda, who's been terrific as a leader today. He's thrown his weight around. But Dougie, I think you put Koutafidis at full forward. Then he's the one who's going to win this game from boys. And
who you tipping, Dib? Who you tipping, Dibber?
Well, at this stage?
Yep.
I'm still staying with the Crows here, right?
Okay.
Good on you, boys.
Still staying with the Crows. That's as if he tipped them before the match.
Yeah, I'd like to know that.
6-4-40 Adelaide, 4-1-25 Carlton. Matthew Clark marshalling the troops in the middle. Koutafidis is back in the centre, joined there by Ratton, Porter and Andrew McKay, who moves into the middle. So the three big guns on the ball. Ratton's been magnificent this afternoon, 23 possessions. As we said, Lance Whitnell sitting on the bench, we believe with an injury. Adelaide lost Ken McGregor, who was on Whitnell right at the start of the game.
I'll give you the benches while we've got a chance. For Adelaide, Shirt, Matthew Brodbrum, O'Loughlin and Biglands, and Fletcher, Colbert, Whitnell and Backwell.
Third quarter underway from Optus Oval. Clark got first hands to it. Porter trying to do the roving, couldn't get through. We saw a pretty rugged start to this match, and I wonder if we're going to see the same in this second half.
Well, already a few tempers there between Nigel Smart and Koutafidis.
Well, Cooter, of course, kicked that very valuable goal late in the first half. Clark again getting first hands, but Ratton, 24th possession. Mansfield versus Smart. Well done by Nigel Smart. Worried him out of it. Then went to ground and he's going to get a free kick for a trip.
Going to Mansfield, is it? Going to Mansfield, I think, Hutto.
That's a strange one. And Nigel Smart certainly thinks it's strange. Mansfield unloading. Into the pocket. Lappin takes the grab. Well, it could prove a crucial decision, but Lappin's going to move it on quickly. Silvani on the slide for Vola. Edwards, Clark, good hands, and they're away. Stevens, Johnson onto the wing and almost into attack. McGregor back on the ground, so that's good for Adelaide. Applies a really good tackle. Bradley with the long sleeves now. Was quiet in the first half. Manton clearing kick. Lappin third in line.
Well done.
Did it with ease. Up to his feet and bring it down. Smart just slipping in front of Koutafidis. Backed his judgment that time. Wanted to switch play. Thought about it. Ben Hart had pushed and given him the chance to do it, but he decided against it. He can go short into Jarman if he wants to now. I think in the end he's just going to have to go long to a contest. Rashuda, the captain, telling him to do just that. It drops a bit short though, and Hickmott slips in to take the mark. It's going to be interesting to see just how the conditions affect the players in this second half as compared to the first.
Unloads, pushes it back towards the half-forward line. Houlihan was there. Like he might have been manhandled by Jarman. There's no free kick. It's a boundary throw-in.
Good to see Jarman back out on the ground, and with him on the half-back flank. Ben Hart been terrific. Koutafidis, as you said before there, KB, started on the ball, now playing at full forward, picked up by Nigel Smart.
The Crows 6-4-40, the Blues 4-1-25. Mansfield, a couple of early touches in this third term. Goes back towards centre-half forward, he was looking for Houghton. Stevens got his fist in the way, Houghton has recovered well. Good second effort, here's Massey down from half-back, hits the ball hard. Oh. Shirley hits for the line. Crows out of danger.
It was great play by Smart then, and he left his opponent, which was Koutafidis, and just ran hard straight at the contest. Here's the replay of this. Massey did very well, but Smart was very good in that area.
Boundary throw in. 60 metres around from goal. Ratton has been a marvellous player this afternoon. It opens up. Going to ground was Houghton. Jarman. Fresh air shot. They've forced the ball within 35 metres of goal. Aaron Jarman on screen. He's had it 9 times today. Has left the field for the blood rule. You can see there the bit of strapping on his cheekbone. Houghton to do the ruck work with Stevens. Loose ball, Koutafidis, danger man. and Hart. Happy. And there's Lappin just throws Shirley to the ground.
50-metre free kick, KB.
So the behind stands, and because that infringement took place after the score, a 50-metre penalty, and we'll come to the back edge of the centre square. The Crows. Great first half, started this game underdogs, yet to win a game this season. Blues coming off one of their best ever wins against the Bombers. Hume from half back. This is a good kick. Lappin's been very lively in this third term. Kicks the ball back inside 50, penetrating kick for Bowler. Try to get rid of his opponent, Jarman. Just glides through half back. Beautiful kick and sets it up to Binky. Jarman runs on to the half forward line. Chance for the Crows. McGregor with quick hands. Risciuto's lurking. Silvani been on and off the ground today. Bradley thumps the ball forward. Massey, one of their young players, looks like he stepped up last week against the Bombers. Over the top is Ratton.
Oh, it's got to be a free kick.
There was no free kick for given in the back or being manhandled. Hands and knees. Beckley, the ex-skipper, just shrug of the shoulders. Just with brute strength, got the ball clear. Here's Ratton, sets it up. That was wonderful hands. A good take by Mansfield. Tumbles the ball back hard. Just patting the ball onto himself. The juggler, taken away by Tyson Edwards, backtracks. It was a dangerous play, but he set it up to Kane Johnson. Lappin closed quickly. Well played. He's going to force a ball up.
I know he gave away that free kick, Lappin, but he's had a pretty good start to this third quarter. Other than that,
he's had 12 touches, Hutto, and taken 3 marks and had kicked a goal, so he's been pretty good, hasn't he?
Lance Whitnell still on the bench. 14 points the difference. Porter and Clark. Well, not sure who won that one. Goodwin trying to get the arms loose. Clark might have caught one from Houghton. Another ball up.
Just a hot ball in at the moment. Just a very hot ball the last couple of minutes.
$14 points still the margin. Well, both ruckmen got buried there. Stingline. There's a free kick seen by the umpire down the ground. The crowd cheering, which means it's a Carlton free. And it's going to McKay. It's getting very, very dark here. I know it already was pretty dark, but it's even darker if that's possible for Vola. No mark. Hart's had a pretty interesting game. 10 possessions, 3 marks. And he saw Favola off to the bench at one stage.
And Lappin's coming off, boys. Don't know why is that, because he's, as you said, started off pretty well.
Maybe he's being dragged for the free kick he gave away before, but
he's straight in the phone there, so
he'll be back soon. Yeah, he'll be back soon, I think.
So the ball thrown in. It's just inside 50 for the Blues. Koutafidis, Houghton. Well, we're just seeing ball up after ball up at the moment. And I guess that suits the Adelaide Crows at this stage.
Yeah, it certainly would be, Hutto. And I just reckon in this contest here, I think Matthew Clark's got to take the bounce.
Don't forget i7sport.com.au. As soon as the game's over, you can check the ladder results, reports, injuries.
Crows by 14 points. Porter. And again, forces the ball over the line for a boundary throw-in. 6-4-40 the Crows. 4-2-26 the Blues. Mansfield. 201 games. A little bit slow, getting back up off the ground, backing back, eyes on the ball. Hit heavily that time by Clark. So the Blues continue to keep the ball across this half-forward line. Ratton's got 2 to beat. And again, a boundary throw-in. So they'll just have to regroup and set up. These conditions are very tough, and the players, Doug, would be very tired from that first half.
Certainly are, KB, and the next goal, as we all know, is going to be very, very important for both sides.
Porter and Clark, they've been at it all day. Beckley trying to pump those legs. He's trying to find Hart. We're going to see a lot of ball ups and boundary throw-ins in this second half. And already we're seeing that in this third term. There's Peter Dean, one of the former greats of Carlton, a club runner, having a chat to Brendan Favola. He's only had it 3 times today, but it is tough for forwards. Vardy's been the star up forward with 3 goals for the Crows, 2 to Mark Risciuto, and for the Blues are all single individual goal kickers, Lappin, Houlihan, Cotton and Koutafidis. And the Blues have got a ball up 30 metres out from goal. Beckley barking instructions. Now Favola's coming off for Carlton, so they're going to be one man short on the forward line. This is interesting at this ball up. There he is running off. Now the whistle has gone and it's going to the Crows. Smart. Now they're loose players short coming off the bench is Lappin, and that's his man with the ball. This could be a big play. He's looking for Shirt, needs a kind bounce, sets it up. The run through from Stengline. Just tumbles the ball forward, Johnson, and Welsh, they can raffle it. Couldn't see his opponent, he's caught high. Definitely caught high. Carlton supporters don't like it in front of the broadcast box. You'll see here, over the shoulder, big chance for the Crows. Clark! Couldn't take it. Loose ball, Manton pounced on it, head straight for the line. McKay will have to work hard towards the boundary line. And beautifully done.
I think KB, you called it beautifully. Why would Favola come off the ground? The ball was deep in their forward line. And as you said, his opponent was Ben Hart. He got the ball. I mean, that could have been a very crucial situation in this game when the scores are so tight.
Clark pushed Beaumont in the back then. He was just a fraction late getting there, Matty Clark.
That's 50 metres. That's 50 metres. That's silly play by Clark. He's given away 50 metres, and under these conditions, that can really hurt you.
Well, he did throw the ball back to the player then.
No, he didn't. He only made it halfway.
Unloads the kick, Beaumont. Gets it inside 50. There's the saving mark. I think Matty Clark will be coming off pretty sure. You can be sure of that. Hart getting the ball out wide. Edwards. 6-4 plays 4-2. Been a stalemate so far in this second half. And as I said, I guess that suits the Adelaide Crows. Beaumont gets it over the line and out of bounds.
Well, only one behind on the scoreboard. We've played nearly 11 minutes in this third term. And Carlton, of course, scored that behind.
Just watching Ratton here, boys. Ratton's had the ball 24 times. Look like maybe Bickley's got the job on Ratton now.
Clark, twisting and weaving. It was a wild handball. Taken away by Bradley, rarely sighted today. Lappin back on the ground. It's been dangerous in this third term. Bickley caught by Ratton. Decked, crunch, Massey showing some strength, some spirit for Carlton as Lappin belts the ball back. Jarman can clean up. Can he set it up? No, he can't! And Hickman on the stretch has taken the mark.
I'll tell you what, how many times we've seen Darren Jarman can just kick off one step by going backwards. On that occasion it fell short.
Hickman, yeah. So Rattler's got the ball, not bad, come off the bench.
No, they're making Freeborn take it.
So Freeborn's going to take the kick. Coming off Adrian Hickman with the blood rule. And Freeborn is directly in front. He'll be kicking from virtually just inside 50.
That mark is a match-winning type of mark, isn't it?
No doubt about that.
Match-turning mark.
Pretty casual kick by Darren Jarman at the end of the day when you look at that. But he's done it so many times, so...
This to bring the Blues within 8 points. Freeborn, just watch the reaction behind the goals. They'll tear down the Robert Heatley end of the ground if they go up, and they are silent.
Unless they're Adelaide supporters.
Behind the Robert Heatley stand.
Oh, in front of it, you mean?
In front of it.
The Crows have done quite well in this quarter, haven't they, really? Because they really controlled this quarter, so
yep,
they're doing quite well.
Jarman brings the ball back into play.
Pretty well-placed kick for Biglands, who replaced Clark, as we said. Came off the ground after giving away that 50-metre penalty. This is Stevens in trouble. Did he get boot to ball? Well, the umpire let it go. And those boys down there, they're sure it was holding the ball. Let's have a look. Well, it did look like a fresh air shot.
It would be a very brave supporter for the Crows to be sitting in front of the Robert Heatley stand.
Would you what?
Porter and Biglands. Ratton tried to free it up with the handball. That's a great handball. Biglands. Pretty clever kick, really. Got it to the wing. Freeborn might get a free kick. That's pretty soft in these conditions. But he'll take it.
Yeah, did get over the top in there, Hutto, on that occasion.
We've seen a lot of that, though, today, haven't we?
Yeah.
Driving in the middle of packs. That's a good, strong mark from Porter. Releases Mansfield onto his favourite left boot. Didn't have a shot. Passed it out in front of Favola. Just couldn't handle it. Rashudo. Well, Mansfield did the team thing. Maybe he should have gone for the long one. I'm not sure. Silvani, who we saw was injured earlier. Welsh, great desperation, but Silvani, he just missed the handball. Didn't quite make the contact he would have liked, but he got it to Fletcher. McKay gets the ball, the handball away from Freeborn. Bombing it long. Standing around Beaumont. The spoil came from Jarman. He went again. Ratton edged against the boundary. Has been brilliant today. Clark back on the ground. Trying to redeem himself. Gets Stevens, and they're out of trouble. Hart, waiting. Oh, he tried to spot up, was trying to be too clever. Massey. Just the 4 possessions today. Off to Bradley, who's also been quite hot and was in great position. Always knew where the ball was. He's got a loose man down in the goal square who was pleading for the ball. I think it's Beaumont.
Yes, he did a bad thing then, Trent Houghton.
Turned his back, maybe, yep.
He had his back to the play. He was very happy he took the mark. And if he should have turned around immediately, he would have got back. And you would have seen that man just out of the screen on the left-hand side. There was no one within 40 metres of him. And Stephen Beaumont was just screaming out for the ball.
Well, Houghton had to kick the goal. And I think he has. Yes.
Every cigarette is doing you damage. Every time you inhale, tobacco smoke condenses in your lungs to form tar. This is a healthy lung. And this is the amount of tar a pack-a-day smoker breathes in every year. Every cigarette is doing you damage.
See, the runner was out. Maybe just explaining a few things there to Trent Houghton to turn around. But the Blues now edge within 7 points. Clark with that big leap. Smart has had a big job on Koutafidis today. The Blues just sensing something might happen in this third term. The Crows haven't been able to score. They're stuck on 6-4-40. Goodwin from half back. Advantage was paid. Backing back was Bickley. Massey hit the pack hard. He's flattened 2 Crows. Freeborn comes away from half back. Smart in front, off hands. Koutafidis, a wonderful pickup. There's a free kick in the back. Kuta will take it. Too far out to score. It was a good 70 metres. The lead is on. Lappin's going to be a target. Ratton made ground. It was a brave attempt. Ratton's down.
Trouble, yeah.
It was a brave attempt, no doubt about that. Jarman sets it up. McLeod was involved as well. Cross half back. The race is on. Goodwin and Bradley. Happy to see it trickle over the line for a boundary throw-in. That man on screen has had it 27 times today, Brett Ratton.
A lot of courage here, Ratton. He's been terrific, hasn't he, today? Been outstanding.
Well, what a struggle we've got here at Optus Oval. 6-4-40 Adelaide, 5-3-33 Carlton. The Blues pressing here. They're the closest they've been since that start when they kicked the first goal. Houghton,
well done.
7 points to margin. McKay to reduce it to 1. Long bomb is well offline, out on the full. And the margin was 15 at half-time, and the Crows bottled it up pretty well. The problem was, as soon as Carlton kicked a goal, suddenly they're within range. And there's the reversal of what we saw in the first half. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, 13-1 in this third quarter in favour of Carlton.
In a low-scoring game, 7 points is still a handy lead, but not one you can safely defend for more than a quarter, you wouldn't think, without scoring a couple of goals yourself. I think, what did you say, Dougie? 8 or 10 goals at the start.
I said 8 or 10 would probably nearly win the game, and I think they'll still be fairly close to the mark, I reckon.
Yeah, we're just over the halfway stage of the third quarter. Porter, opposed by Clark. Porter got the first tap. Clark perhaps got second hands onto it. Jarman's had 13 possessions today for the Crows. Edwards has had 14. Stenglein 12. Welsh 11. Hart 13. And Laddams 11. There's Whitnell warming up. Any news on him, Dipper?
Not as yet, but he's certainly doing some nice sprints on the boundary line here.
Well, I wonder whether he can come on to the last quarter and give them something extra up forward.
Yeah, I just reckon KB and Hutto at the moment now with the Crows under siege. Maybe Mark Rashudo's played most of the game on a half-forward flank. If he's okay, he's probably the man who could go into the ball in your midfield to give a little bit of extra drive for you.
Well, Ricky O'Loughlin's about to come on for the Crows for the second time today.
7 points the difference. Porter won the tap. Clark couldn't bend down. Mansfield appealing. Time ticks away. 7 minutes just under remaining in this third quarter. Adelaide kicked 4 in the first quarter, 1 in the second, and they haven't kicked a goal in the third. Sorry, 2 in the second. The shooter kicked that late one. Houghton tapped it down. McLeod, who's largely been quiet. Bratton seems to have recovered. Got the handball back. In fact, McLeod's game this afternoon, 10 possessions, 7 kicks and 3 handballs. Hasn't been as damaging as we've seen, though, in the past. There's Ricky O'Loughlin. Stevens got that tap. McLeod somehow got it to Johnson. Not sure how. Freeborn back to centre half forward. Again, the pressure on Johnson. The tackling of the Blues just has gone up a notch since quarter time. McLeod manages to get it forward. Stenglein tried to go up the ground. Hickbody's desperation went out again for the Blues. Brilliant work. Backwell on the ground. Kicks into space in front of Koutafidis and Smart. And Smart will take that over. Nothing short. Throw in is the call. And we're down under 6 minutes now in this third quarter.
Crows by 7 points. 6-4-40. Blues are 5-2-33. Stevens doing the ruck work. Hume, quick snap. Dangerous kick to the square. Pushing and shoving. Fletcher was there. Jarman goes to ground. Slides over the line.
They're on the pump up, though, the Crows at the moment. They just can't get the ball forward.
Well, we saw before 13-1 inside 50 this quarter. So full marks to the Blues. They've turned this around. They trailed by 27 points during that second term. And now they're within 7. There's Jarman on screen. He's had it 14 times.
Have they scored, KB, the Crows, this quarter?
Haven't scored this quarter, Doug.
No.
1 goal to the Blues, but no score to the Crows. It looks like Matthew Clark was going off then, and Robin's coming on. Smart doing some of the ruck work. Chance for the Blues. Lappin has been very dangerous in this third term. Jarman from half back goes for the torp. He wants it to slide along the ground towards the boundary line. The race is on. McKay has got Tyson Edwards to beat, who's quick, overruns the ball. McKay, take 2, pumps the ball back. Backwell, the juggler. He's just come off the bench. Loose player, Lappin. Chipping in with Stevens, he read it well. Scher caught, dragged to the ground. Houghton tries to scoop it out. Lappin again, around the body.
Free kick coming back.
Now, the whistle has gone, and the free kick is going to the Crows.
It was a holding decision, I think, holding the man.
Could have been maybe a throw on the ball there too, Hutto. Looked like he threw the ball there, Trent Houghton. Yeah.
The umpire definitely signalled a holding the man, but I agree, that certainly looked like a throw.
Hart goes wide, finds Johnson. The Crows have lost a close one this year against Melbourne. They were in front until 4 seconds to go. Robin has hardly been on the ground today. From centre wing. He's just replaced Clark. McGregor still at centre half forward. He goes short. Finds Ricky O'Loughlin, brother of Michael. Star with the Sydney Swans. Pumps the ball back. McGregor stands his ground. Couldn't take it. Goodwin tied up by Bradley.
They haven't seen the ball down there, have they, in this quarter?
They've got no idea what it looks like.
That's a pretty good move, Dougie. Robin on the ground, I reckon.
I think so. I mean, these conditions early in the game didn't suit him, but now probably it would.
McLeod can't take control. Boundary throw-in, but at least it's inside 50 for the Crows. Robin to do the ruck work.
Here comes the rain, boys.
And you can see now the spectators running for cover. Porter to Hume. Keeps the ball alive. Koutafidis is the target. He's pushed out Smart.
Good decision.
Nigel Smart from centre wing. Belts the ball long. Off hands. So they'd forced the ball within 25 metres of goal. Beaumont on screen. Simon Goodwin for the Crows. Adelaide led by 20 points at quarter time, 15 points at half time. They now lead by 7. Porter takes the front position. Hume works well in close. Freeborn been a handy player today as well. He's won a lot of hard balls. He's had it 14 times. He's hit the packs hard. Lachlan just fresh legs for the Crows. Still 60 metres out now from Adelaide's goal. They haven't scored in this third term. The rain will make it harder. You can hear there some thunder in the background. Court high was Mansfield. He'll take the free kick.
Been good this third quarter, hasn't he, Mickey Mansfield? Been pretty good.
Sloppy tackle, that one. Mansfield trying to make the most of it. He's had 11 possessions today. Former cap. Brett Ratton is the target. Even he can't take it in these conditions. He goes off the ground, which was very smart. The ricochet of Fletcher out on the full. Brett Ratton's impact on this game, 30 possessions, 14 kicks, 16 handballs. Miles ahead of the nearest possession winner on the ground. Andrew McKay, who's had 16, and Hart and Jarman, who have had 14 and 15 respectively for the Crows. Up onto the wing, Robin the target. Houghton appears to be running with him now. Well flipped out. Here's Rashudo. Got Robin on his inside. He's kicked 2 important goals today. Now he has got 3. What a performance.
Mitre 10 understands that getting the right advice when and where you need it can save you a lot more than money.
I'll tell you when it's level. I'll hold it.
That's why we've introduced the Mitre 10 advice line. 136310.
All right, so yeah, we can fix it.
So now you can call any day and get expert on-the-job solutions that will save you time, money, and even face.
I have to chisel a bit off the other
Carlton have had the ball inside 50 15 times in this quarter for 1 goal. Adelaide 4 times for 1 goal.
Crows back to 13 points. Just 2.5 minutes left in this third term. Bickley pumps the ball forward inside 50. Crows might be inspired by Rashudo. Their skipper, Rodrin, goes short, trapped across the half-forward line. Chance now, Rashudo goes to ground. Bradley to Beaumont, stands and delivers. Kicks the ball wide, close to the line. Kept it in play for a boundary throw-in. A wry smile from Hickmott. 33 plays 46. The Blues have had all the play in this quarter, Doug.
They have, no doubt about that, KB. Be very rare you see a game where you have Craig Bradley on the ground for full time. He's only had 6 touches.
Mansfield runs into Freeborn, crunched by Kane Johnson. Plenty of muscle being used today. A ball up 75 metres from Adelaide's goal. Under 2 minutes left. Thunder, lightning, wind, rain, hail. We've had it all here today. And once more, Ratton is forced over the line by Stengline for a boundary throw-in. 7-4-46 the Crows, 5-3-33 the Blues.
Down to the last minute and a half in this third quarter. Houghton, as I said, running now with Robram. I think Wayne Britton giving Porter a rest with Clark off the ground.
Just wonder where Carlton's going to kick 3 goals here at this stage. I mean, okay, they're 13 points, so they really need the 3 goals to win this game. They're going to struggle to get that.
Well, particularly with this rain, I mean, not just if it continues, but it's going to make the ground even wetter. Manton, Johnson, Rodrin, banged it onto the boot into the square. Silvani to try and spoil Welsh. He did that. He's done that over the years, but the Hinds are pretty handy as well at the moment.
Yes, any score is going to make it tough. 14 points the Crows. Underdogs coming to this game today. Haven't won a game this year, beaten by Sydney, Melbourne and Port Adelaide. Carlton coming off one of their most memorable wins ever against the Bombers last week. Silvani took too long and he's been pinged. Welsh from centre wing, short, loose player. Finds Stengline. Too far out to score. Crows players now pushing back inside 50. This is a dangerous kick. Under a minute left. Loose ball. Goodwin kicks to the line. And through for a behind. Crows by 15 points.
You rarely see Steve Silvani 5 metres clear of Scott Welch. Picked it up, tried to steady and was just caught. Very rarely you see that happen to him.
7-6 to 5-3. Blues have to go down the middle. Bradley's been doing that most of the day from the kick-ins. We see Whitnell is back on the ground. Koutafidis. Just a mass of players. Well done, Whitnell. Out to Silvani. Blues have got to get a move on from here if they're going to score before the bell goes at three-quarter time. Beaumont unloading to half-forward. Good kick. Oh, Mansfield just couldn't hang on to it. Got the handball away, though. Houlihan, great smother. That could save them. A score probably wouldn't have mattered, but well done, Ben Hart. Played an excellent game back in defence. He's had 15 possessions, same as Darren Jarman. And at the moment, it looks like Adelaide are on the verge of an upset. Still a quarter to go, and I'm sure the Blues will have something to say. Carriers going with Matthew Robran again. I thought that was a pretty good move late in the third quarter. It just gives them a bit of extra marking power around the ground. Clark had been in the ruck all day, or pretty much most of the day.
Whitnell's back at full forward.
Yep.
So we're ready to start the last quarter. Adelaide without a win for the year. Trying to knock off the Blues at Optus Oval. Never easy. McLeod out of the middle. Rashudo's been brilliant today. Fumble from Robran, but he kept the ball going. He kept the ball moving. Goodwin off the left boot. He could just about stitch it up. Brilliant kick from Goodwin. What a start. What a start to this last quarter by the Adelaide Crows. And Simon Goodwin has taken the margin back out beyond 20 points.
Well, I think it'd be fair to say, in these conditions, this is the ball game. Good tap on there. I think that was Matthew Robran who got that ball forward.
Yep.
Simon Goodwin's been terrific. He's had the job on Craig Bradley, who's only had the 6 touches. Craig Bradley, the skipper of the Carlton side. He's been outstanding, Simon Goodwin.
And a pat on the back to Mark Rashudo. Hit that ball hard across that centre-half forward line. So the Blues now trail by 21 points. It's going to be a long way to come back. Lappin was very good in that third term. DePorter unloads and just belts the ball back inside 50. And there's Jarman. I think this half-back is going to really suit Andrew Jarman. Darren Jarman, I should say. Don't think it'd suit Andrew.
Not now.
Nigel Smart's had a big job today. He's played on Koutafidis. It's been a terrific duel. Big pack of players. The Crows just answering the challenge. They led by 27 points during that second term. They now lead by 21. Hickmott was looking for a free. He'll get a ball up.
It's a great test now, boys, for the Carlton side if they can really get back in this game. A great challenge for them.
Whitnell has been on the bench for virtually a couple of quarters. They've lined him up at full forward. They would have revved him up. They want one big effort. Smart kicks the ball off the ground for a toss back in. 8-6-54 the Crows. 5-3-33 the Blues. 3 goals to Peter Vardy, 3 to Mark Rashudo, and for the Blues, Trent Houghton, their leading goal kicker with 2. Boundary throwing, centre wing, Robran. There's a push in the back, not played. Ratton getting into the back there of their champion, midfield player McLeod.
Don't forget i7sport.com.au. All the latest footy news all throughout the week. Log on at any time, and plenty of chats going on there about all the latest. Plenty of chat going on at Optus Oval as Hume sends them forward. Yeah, it's bouncing a long way. Conceded. Probably unnecessarily so, but no risk taken. Scott Camporelli was a late withdrawal from the Carlton lineup. Did a hamstring at training.
And Matthew Allen sitting in front of him too.
Jarman.
Great kick.
Yep, got it in cleanly. Mark Bickley, dual premiership skipper for the Crows. So they're pushing forward and up onto the wing. Massey made the spoil on Benke, who hasn't really been able to pull down too many marks this afternoon. But marking up forward has been very difficult indeed. 8-6 playing 5-4. Porter. Ratton. Koutafidis maybe has been moved back onto the ball.
Yeah, he certainly has, Hutto, no doubt about that. And Mark Bickley, since half-time, has done a pretty reasonable job on Brett Ratton, even though, you know, Bratton's had 32 touches, but I think at up to half-time he had 23 or 24 anyway.
Koutafidis doing this bit of ruck work here against Robert. Hume just couldn't break loose then. Now Smart, he can break loose. Through the middle into the open spaces. Beaumont pushed off it. McKay made the spoil. Well tackled Porter. O'Loughlin took them on to a degree. And the umpire finally calling for a bounce. So the crowd stunned here. Seen all sorts of weather throughout the afternoon, but mainly it's been the performance of the Adelaide Crows. Ratton gets them to centre half forward. Rare marking opportunity out forward. Houghton takes it. Thought he was going to get 50 for a moment. Hume kept on running. Provides the pass. Here's Whitnell. Oh, he left the ball behind. He tackled Jarman high, and the umpire was right there. Whitnell, I think, was just a little bit annoyed about something. He just took on Jarman. Indiscreet, certainly.
Wayne Britton won't be happy with that.
No.
Out on the full, the result, though, from the Jarman kick. Houghton brought it in. Porter with momentum. Unloads it. Whitnell pushing, shoving. Couldn't take the mark. Got it to the front. Snap from Houlihan. Another behind. Well, they're bearing down on them just a little bit. 5 to 8-6 now, the margin.
They creep within 19 points.
Yep.
Just looked like Lance Whitnell really tried to sort of guide that ball down to Ryan Houlihan, so it was a pretty good play by Lance Whitnell then.
Jarman in front. He's looking for Robran. Just needs a kind bounce and gets one. To centre wing. Too much carry for Binky. Going to ground was McGregor, and Binky finally forces it over the line. The Crows open this game in a very physical manner with Mark Risciuto just leading the way. Really, a couple of big crunches on Carlton players that seemed to lift the confidence of the Adelaide Crows. Since then, he's booted 3 goals as well.
Matthew Roberts been important too, KB, in the last 10 minutes. He's just been terrific. All tap-ons and the hard work he's doing now in the ruck.
I think you're right, Dib. I think Hutto mentioned the fact that he came on and going in the ruck and been pretty good.
Well, Clark, of course, had done all the ruck work along with Porter, so he's had a breather. That man on screen, Ratton's had it 33 times.
Risciuto just telling his players now just to man up.
Yep.
Ricky O'Loughlin looking for his man now.
I just noticed Kane Johnson going back, picking up Hume too on the edge of the centre square. There's the speak of the devil, Ratton to Lappin. Ratton to Lappin. 2 dangerous players. Hume taken away by Jarman. Thumps the ball back towards the half-forward line. Massey got plenty of pace. Kicks the ball wide. Bradley. He's had a quiet afternoon. Now he's won the free kick. The tackle's been too high. Goodwin has had the job playing on Craig Bradley, just the 6 possessions. Edge of the centre square to centre half forward. Koutafidis pushed out of the contest. Now there's a Crows player down as well. That's Bickley. Just a wry smile. Stevens pumps it wide. He was looking for Benke. And again, a boundary thrown. So 54 plays 35. It's 8-6 to 5-5.
I just wonder now, with Craig Bradley struggling up in the midfield, I suggested probably early in that 3rd quarter, go forward. You need a sneaky goal kick at this stage with the ball being at ground level. He could be the man, Craig Bradley, down their forward pocket.
Looks like Cooter's gone back to full forward. Smart stayed with him. And Adelaide would be delighted with their start to this last quarter. They've kicked the first goal and they've eroded 5 minutes from the score clock. The margin is now set at 19 points. Porter. Couldn't win a clean tap. Hume, Whitnell pushing up the ground, helps it on towards the line, and again it's out. It's
not pretty football, but it's been tough, particularly in that first half when the rain was coming down. There was lightning, thunder, and the players really hit each other pretty hard. They've got to slow down at some stage, Doug, don't they?
Well, they do, KB, and I suggested midway through that first quarter, a couple of boys very sore here tonight.
So the Blues have to really dig deep here if they're to make an impact on that scoreline. McLeod. Another bounce.
And we've heard all the rumours that Gary Ayres is not popular over there with the players. So, as I said, John Reid said that's just coming out of the media in Melbourne. Well, today, the way the players are putting for Gary Ayres, you would think they're 110% behind him. There's talk about Rashudo and Ayres not getting on. Well, Rashudo today has really stood up.
Passion.
He's backed his coach today with 3 goals. And as we say, he's been very, very physical. So, from those signs, this has been a red-letter day for the Crows.
Well, maybe there's still time for Carlton. Ratton giving them another chance, but Smart standing up. He's had his detractors too during the week, and he's responded pretty well. Out of bounds. Nigel Smart's gained 14 possessions. Koutafidis kicked a goal on him late in the second quarter, but since then he really hasn't had too much of an impact, Koutafidis. Bickley scrapping there with Houghton. Good hands from Kuda. Houlihan around the corner, gains 40 metres. But in these conditions, this margin might just about be insurmountable for the Blues. 19 points is the story at the moment, and we're getting towards the halfway stage of the last quarter.
And the figures before told us that in the past 10 years, the Blues have only lost 3 consecutive games at Optus Oval. They lost to the Bulldogs late last year, the Hawks this year. Can the Crows? Had their 3rd straight loss at Optus Oval. Hume squeezed up on the boundary line, tries to keep it alive. The Blues need a lucky bounce. Silvani's there with Lappin. So slippery to pick up that ball. Lappin, the tackler, wants a free kick and he's going to get it.
Oh, gee whiz.
Your thoughts, Doug?
Well, Kev, I just thought that the Crows bloke was pretty stiff. I mean, the ball was sort of slipping around. And
that was Shirley.
Robert Shirley, was it? Yeah. He did drag it in. Hang on. From this angle, he did drag the ball back in. And that is a penalty. If you drag it in, you will get penalised. Yeah, umpire was right then. I'll take that back.
What an important kick for the Blues. Lappin directly in front. Hammers it home.
At these prices, don't miss being a part of the action at Repco.
Sally's car care range includes 33% bonus polyglaze car wash, $3.95. Castrol GTX2, just $14.45. Enter the Winter Nationals with Victor Bray competition. Fram oil filters, huge range, premium quality, $4.95. Boost prepaid mobile phone, only $79. Includes $50 worth of calls.
At Repco, we know what it is, we know where it goes.
Koutafidis in the middle now.
Well, it gives them a chance, doesn't it, the Blues? Tap from Porter. Bickley, head down, bottom up, gets it to centre half forward. Whitnell back in defence. McGregor couldn't take it. Robran off the ground. It's inside 50. Adelaide have been able to come up with goals when they've needed to. Varney, that was close to a throw. Crowd certainly thought so, and so did the umpire. It was a great idea.
That might have been the old flick pass.
Late EJ Whitman will love that, KB. EJ will love that one.
Along the boundary line. Houghton couldn't take it. O'Loughlin bouncing one, well tracked. Again, it's Goodwin unloading to the top of the square. Well stayed down. Whitnell. McLeod, superior pace. We thought that might have won out, but he propped just so he could get good footing there. And the ball out of bounds. And that won't be upsetting Adelaide too much as we see this little scoop again. Forward pass, anyway.
You're going to get away with that.
8-6 plays 6-5. Last quarter from Optus Oval. Robram got the tap down. McGregor helped it forward. Danger area. Great spoil, McKay. Fantastic stuff. Close to the line. Out of bounds.
And Hume's had a big job today playing on McLeod. He's had it 12 times. But the young man himself has been very, very good. He's had it 15 times. The Crows with a big chance. Just 15 metres out from goal. Chance for Laddams. Wants to get back onto that left foot. All tied up that time by Massey. Wants the free kick. He's got it. Crows by 13 points. Short kick. Houghton. Hard one to grab. Ratton, nearly a fresh air shot. Houghton tries to keep it alive. Finds Hickmott. Wobbles a kick forward towards Lappin. Favola comes in hard. Oh, crashing into the sign. That time was Shirley. Just a pat on the head from Darren Jarman. So a boundary throw in.
Houghton now in the ruck. Porter off and Colpert's on.
Let's check the time clock. 11.5 minutes left. Nigel Smart paddles it back over the line.
Looks like Steve Silvani now has gone to full forward, I think, for Carlton. Here it is.
Houghton to do the ruck work, along with Robram, centre wing. Its bodies on the line. Inches are important. Ratton continue to win that ball today, short. Good hands, taken by Jarman. Again, just tumbles the ball forward towards centre half forward. Kick off the ground came from McLeod. He pulled his opponent off the ball. There's no free kick. Hume got a toe poke. Hickmott did nearly a 360. Good enough to get his foot to the ball. Heads towards the boundary line. Mansfield gets plenty of support that time from Houghton. Pumps the ball back towards the half-forward line. Jarman
been good.
Stands his ground. He's had it 20 times. He's going to set it up to Robram. They're going to run hard. Down from half-back. Stevens stands and delivers. Bangs the ball back towards centre-half forward. McGregor in front. The big fist from behind. Loose ball taken by Houghton. It can open up for the Blues. Rockets the ball forward to Colbert. Goes short. It's a dangerous kick for Bowler on the half volley. Maybe a bad option in the end. Could have belted the ball down towards Lappin, who was in the goal square, and Robin will take it across half-back.
So the Crows answering the challenges just at the moment. O'Loughlin versus Freeborn. He kept his footing. Well done, Bradley. Gets it to 50. Desperate stakes for the Blues. Oh, Whitnell, where was that to? It was to Silvani. That's where. Flat-footed, dappy little pass. What a kick this is going to be for Craig Bradley. We've seen him over the years kick goals from this pocket. But Craig Bradley,
big kick. This
is a very tough kick. Only 8 possessions today. The last time Carlton lost to Adelaide at Optus Oval was 10 years ago. 1991, round 17. The last time Adelaide beat Carlton at Optus Oval. Craig Bradley trying to make sure that doesn't happen again. Well, the umpire going across suggesting it's out on the full. Carlton's lowest score ever against Adelaide is 6 goals, 12, 48. Bradley looks a bit dismayed by that.
It looks like he may have thought it was a point there.
Yeah, I mean, that could make all the difference.
Absolutely.
Later on.
Plenty of time still. 9 or 10 minutes to go.
Crows hanging on by 13 points. They led by 20 points at quarter time, 15 points at half time and 3/4 time. So the Blues have whittled it back to 13. The fist there came from Houghton. Hume goes to ground. Freeborn. Short kick inside 50. Jarman caught high. There's no free kick. Wild fresh air shot. Picked up by Lappin. Gets a goal. Blues within 7 points.
Like what we ordered, wasn't it?
If you've ever taken on a big job around the house,
Well done. It's on plaster and there are holes.
you'll know that getting the right advice
Got to start with that.
is what really saves you money.
It's good value and there's a great range of colours.
And a whole lot
They're
more.
washable. They come in a whole range of colours also.
Because the only thing better than knowing you did it yourself
But I knew you could.
is knowing how much you saved.
Well, the Adelaide supporters would be justified in being furious, but they can't afford to worry the Adelaide players. They have to get on with the job. They're suddenly under threat. The Blues suddenly moving up to 50. Hart's been great all day. Off the ground towards the boundary line. Goodwin has done the job on Bradley, but suddenly the Blues are within 7. Suddenly it's a contest again. That last free kick that wasn't paid to Jarman, unbelievable. I guess the umpire just must not have been in the position to see it. It was certainly over the shoulder. Houghton and Robram. Bradley off the ground. He's hurt his ankle. Slow to get up. Smart. Robran just hacked the ball forward. They've got it into their forward line. They'll try and lock it there. Whitnell, was that off a boot? No. Throw in. Well, 1 goal won under these conditions has proved to be quite a margin. Dougie said right near the start that 8 or 10 goals might win it. There's the inside 50. Certainly since half-time, Carlton have had a lot more of it. About 5 players go up for the ruck. Houghton, Hume, and it's out of bounds.
There's been very few marks taken inside 50 today. Up to three-quarter time, only 4 Carlton marks and 1 to Adelaide. So it gives you some idea how difficult it's been to just take a grab up inside 50 in this game. Conditions have been really tough.
Goodwin trying to barge through. Still Adelaide just outside 50. Mark McKenzie calls for a bounce. 8 minutes to go in the last quarter. The Adelaide Crows have been brilliant after Carlton kicked the first goal of the afternoon. Houghton will come up pretty sore after that one. They're inside 50. McLeod trying to make an impact. Got the ball out. Rusciuto banged it onto the boot. Up to full forward. Massey. Oh, he'd want to be careful conceding points at this stage. Probably the only option in that case. But now the margin out to 8 points. Well, Craig Bradley has kicked in all afternoon. Not this time. Down the middle. No one there for Adelaide to contest against Koutafidis, who takes it and unloads it. Suddenly they're in attack. Lappin, he has been the spark. Moves it on quickly. Down to full forward. Silvani, who will recover the quickest? Can he get back Silvani? He can't. Stevens sees it over and out. All of a sudden, the Blues are deep in attack. And the pressure is back on the Crows.
It's amazing. Just 2 kicks down the middle of the ground and find themselves in front of goal.
Well, Matthew Lappin has been a very good player. And in that third term, he gave the Blues a lot of opportunities. He's booted 3 goals himself. The Blues are within 8 points. Silvani has been moved to full forward. Kicked off the ground by Bickley. Ratton continues to persist. 36 possessions today. Squeezed up on the boundary line. Bradley was at a throw. Didn't quite get his fist to the ball. Koutafidis takes it over. 60 metres around from Carlton's goal. They trail 8-7-55 to 7-5-47. Koutafidis. Can he pull a rabbit out of the hat?
The Carlton player Fletcher by himself.
Simon Fletcher, you're right, Dipper. Yeah, on his own.
Smart and Cooter, they've had a great duel. Freeborn had it and lost it. McGregor goes to ground. O'Loughlin desperate under the circumstances. So's Houghton, equally matched. McGregor gets a foot to the ball. It was a toe poke. They forced the ball forward. Laddams to Smart. Good enough to get the fist away. Taken away by Hume. So tough in close. Crunch, bang. McGregor came from behind. It's a loose ball. McGregor falls on top of the ball. Taken by Johnson. Topples the ball forward. Rusciuto with strength. Tries to go wide. He finds O'Loughlin. It's at the full distance. It's been paid. O'Loughlin kick is a shocker. Virtually kicked it walking backwards. It was taken by Whitnell on the rebound. The Blues. Can they get within a kick? Colbert goes to ground. Mandan. Well tackled. Taken by O'Loughlin. What a turnover. Welsh take a bow. It was great tackling. Tyson Edwards pumps the ball long. Whitnell's got to get back. Oh, they nearly collided. And Beaumont has taken it. The saving mark goes short. Danger.
Oh, shocking kick.
McGregor should kick a goal. Great smother off the boot. Beaumont, last line of defence, heads for the boundary line. Massey, can he trap it? Tyson Edwards was desperate. Great smother off the boot. Kicked off the ground. Crows alive across the half-forward line. Tyson Edwards there, dog-tired. Absolutely dog-tired. And McGregor and Fletcher, desperate play on the boundary line. Take a bow.
This is great stuff. It is just desperation. It's sloppy. It's just tough and tight. And it's great old-fashioned footy, particularly if you're back for the Adelaide Crows. They're under pressure, though. They're in attack. And if they could score a goal here, it would just about be enough. Fletcher, the Blues, can't afford to be too defensive with 5 minutes than 15 seconds remaining, but that moves it along a bit and gets them almost to the wing.
Can you imagine how tired these players are? The brain's saying
Well,
go, the legs aren't lifting, you know what I mean?
You're right, Dipper. And before you said, I mean, they kicked 2 kicks to get down inside their 50. This time they've gone wide and short. Kick the ball long.
Johnson, high tackle. That time the umpire saw it.
Two of the freshest blokes on the ground, Robin and Ricky O'Loughlin. I reckon they're the match winners there.
Yeah,
Here we go.
O'Loughlin's been good, and we've mentioned Robin several times. Johnson into the pocket. The mark would be heroic at this stage, and probably too much to expect inside the forward 50. There's a whistle. Carlton player went down. He was legged. It's Massey. So we're inside 5 minutes remaining. Chris Massey after... Oh, dangerous it was, in fact.
Yeah,
dangerous play. Massey loading him up and landing it on the wing. Coup to the target in amongst 3 Crows players. Ratton at the bottom where you'd expect. Great give from Hart. Release Robram. The little kick is all right. Laddams has shown the ability to penetrate with his kicking.
And Vardy was screaming for the ball in the pocket.
Been
And that picked him up.
Well, they're holding up play. He went short to Hart, who's in a worse position as far as the goals are concerned. But he's going to kick it back to Smart. So the Crows have started wasting time already, which is not silly as long as they don't be stupid about it. Nobody on the mark. Smart really didn't need to run on then and kick the ball long. Blues have got numbers in the last line of defence. And now they'll take it away. Bradley, oh, he was almost caught. Just got it away to Whitnell, who just bombed it for the middle. Lappin, a fumble. Shirley there with him. Jarman's had 23 possessions today. That was a clever touch. Stevens got it away. All the players are in Adelaide's half of the ground. Oh, somehow Stenglein got through into the square. Houghton will wait down. And it bounces and it hits the behind post, so it's still in the danger area. And Adelaide are now in a great position to win this match because Carlton need to kick 2 goals to win it from here. And the ball is deep in the defence.
Pretty hard to take a mark too. Our stats tell us they've only taken 1 mark inside 50, the Crows. Smart and Koutafidis. To Rashudo, the hero. Snap around the corner, bends it back. He's kicked
That is a goal, guys. I'm right behind
that. Miracle goal!
Aye, we were off for a wee break with the Wains and the collar was like a cow. And would you know about Kennett? Clunk, clunk, clunk. I'm stood there right glaikit with the Wains shouting, "Oh, Farah, you ken you're nothing but a big dunderhead." So I skedaddled right into Ultratune and told the laddie about the clunk, clunk, clunk. He says, "Oh, your shock absorbers are out the windy, man," and made a rare job of them. Understood me perfectly, he did.
Mark Rashudo has kicked a goal in every quarter of this match. This is the absolute best. And he knows it. And here they go again. Well, the Crows are home now. 3 minutes to go. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but they're deep in attack. Ratton is down. Crows trying not to waste it. Oh, he spilt it back well. Blues suddenly with numbers on the wing. And the footy, more importantly. Hume waited. Delayed his kick, went for Silvani, gets him after the ricochet. The feed is all right. Hume, high tackle, played on straight away, went for the goals, went straight for the goals and kicked it out on the full. No, it's touched.
A bit of time there, Backwell, didn't he, the young fella? He could have steadied up on an occasion. Just kicked it blindly backwell. I mean, it was a bit high too, the tackle from Darren Jarman on that occasion.
Desperation there, we saw it from Lance Whitnell. Terrific stuff.
There's Ratton hurt. Back up again.
So Carlton attacking. Need to get a goal from this 4-way forward. Again, Robin got hands to it. Hart couldn't clear the area. Lappin has shown he can find the middle in tough and tight situations, and he can do it too.
At these prices, don't miss being a part of the action at Repco.
Sally's car care range includes 33% bonus polyglaze car wash, $3.95. Castrol GTX2, just $14.45. Enter the Winter Nationals with Victor Bray competition. Fram oil filters, huge range, premium quality, $4.95. Boost prepaid mobile phone, only $79. Includes $50 worth of calls.
At Repco, we know what it is, we know where it goes.
The Blues won't go away. They trail by 8 points. Just under 2.5 minutes left. It's been a tough game here today. The conditions, we've had rain, lightning, thunder. It's been so tough on the players. They are dog-tired, and Carlton won't go away. They trail by 8 points. Goodwin on screen. He's had the job playing on Bradley today. He's done it well. Carlton skipper, one of his quieter days. Just 11 possessions. Robram. It's been good since coming off the bench. To the half-forward line. Vardy, 3 goals early with pace and strength. Vardy runs in. Across the face of goals. Chance for O'Loughlin. Beaten over the line. But time is on the Crows' side. Under 2 minutes left. And they lead by 8 points. They led by 20 at quarter time, 15 points at half time and 3/4 time. And 2 occasions since half time, the Blues have got within 7 points, but no closer. And Laddams happy to just paddle that back over the line. This will be a red letter day for the Crows. They came into this side under a lot of criticism, came into this game today. And I think their captain, Mark Rasciuto, a big pat on the back because he took it up to the Blues in that first quarter. He's kicked 2 miracle goals virtually for him. And he's really set the standard. Hume trying to keep the ball alive, can't do so. And we have a boundary thrown. So the Blues have to kick a goal in the next 30 seconds or so to have some sort of chance.
Well, Adelaide supporters will remember just a couple of weeks ago when Melbourne with Liam Challey stole the game late in the last minute, so they'll be desperately hoping that doesn't happen again.
They're taking the Kangaroos next week to Adelaide at Footy Park, so...
Well, if they can win this game, Doug, they'll go in there with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, they certainly will.
And Matthew Robram's been magnificent since he's come on. Goes at it again. Desperate effort from Edwards. McLeod, he tried to invent a goal then off the ground. It bounced though before it went out. Yes, it did, so we'll see the ball thrown back in. Obviously a Blues supporter. Just over a minute left. A famous victory for the Adelaide Crows. Unless Carlton can get the ball down the other end and score a goal.
And it's so dark here too. Of course, the TV doesn't show that because of the lighting with the cameras, but it is so dark here at Optus Oval.
Yes, we've had the lot in terms of weather. Robran grabs it. McLeod waiting down. Freeborn the spoiler. Whitnell. O'Loughlin has been dangerous.
He's kicked it.
And he's put it through and puts it beyond doubt.
Point. Gee.
Through for a behind, as I said. That puts it beyond doubt. Makes all the difference, that point.
Certainly does, Hutto. And I think Gary has found a spot there with Darren Jarman on the half-back flank, even back pocket. With Ben Hart, them 2 guys have been terrific today.
Well, the Blues have to score here, don't they?
Yep.
Straight down the centre of the ground. They need to take a mark here. They need to invent something. And Silvani, not paid. Kicked off the ground by Jarman. He's been so good across half-back. McGregor, much improved player. Bangs the ball out wide. Chance for Freeborn. He'll get support from Hickmott. He's been pretty physical today himself. Freeborn wobbles a kick forward and finds Rat. Now he's off. He's caught.
He's tired.
He knew that time was the essence. Taken away by O'Loughlin. Got his boot to the ball. Fletcher couldn't take it. Oh, there's kicking in danger. So the Crows will take it.
That'll do it.
And Nigel Smart. He's had a throw and go. And Gary Ayres is a happy coach tonight. A pat on the back for Mark Micken because the Crows have won 9-8-62. They've defeated Carlton 8-5-53.
One of the worst sirens you've ever heard has rung around Optus Oval. Maybe it's feeling a bit sickly.
What is that noise?
That's not it. No, that's a rap song going on.
No, it can't
They've
be.
jumped the gun for the disco at 8 o'clock.
Well, a famous victory. A famous victory, this one by the Adelaide Crows. You talk about their 2 premierships, and they'll obviously be the standout days, but this is a win that is right up there with the best. Let's get down to Dipper.
Yeah, thanks very much. Hello, Jars. Charge well done for the win, mate. Just a fantastic win for the boys today.
I reckon it's probably the biggest win for the club's history, I reckon. Fantastic. And no one gave us a chance, and we just fought our guts out today and played for ourselves, and it was a great win.
Every quarter you're in front of you, just sort of hang on. I mean, Carlton came back at you, but your own form, mate, on the back line there.
Oh, I just love playing there, Dip. Yeah, you can read the game a bit better, and it's just great to be part of this. Sensational.
Well, off you go, buddy. Good on you, Dars. Fantastic player.
Good on you, Dipper. Fantastic performance, and interesting that he said that he reckons it's the biggest victory in the club's history. What about the 2 flags? Well, the flags are out and Optus Oval, and they'll be yelling and screaming, the small number of Crows fans that are here. Gary Ayres, as usual, showing no emotion. How about a smile, Gary? A great win by the Crows. They won here over Carlton at Optus Oval, 9-8 to 8-5.